champions. You're going to have to be over 21 to enjoy these here beverages. Ooh! Yeah, buddy. Cheers. Ah. Another one. Pour it in. Feel the wind. Pour it in. Woo! Oh man, look at that one. Oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. What's going on? What's up? Let that settle a little bit. Oh man, dude, check out this guy. This is Joe Fu leather. This is fucking sick, man. This is that 15V knife. It's covered in the leather or whatnot. What do you guys think about this design, huh? Oh yeah, that Saya. That was fucking sick, huh? Yeah, I wanted something that was gonna match that paper micarta. Oh, right on, man. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like those blade videos. Those are pretty cool, huh? You know, I'm a maker as well, so it's kind of weird to be like, hey, tell me about all your stuff. You know, it's like, you competing with me, boy? You totally have to kill your ego to do that. So, it's pretty fun, though. I know you guys, you want to see all the different knife stuff. You know, at the end of the day, knife makers, you're not really rivals because, you know, you can only hand make stuff so much of it. And so there's not really the ability to like bang out so much volume that you're like rivals with each other necessarily. I mean, there's enough for everybody. Yeah, man. Hell yeah, dudes. Yeah, I'm still trying to come up with a name for this model. I don't know what to call it. It's more of a drop point blade, and then it has more of like a Canadian belt knife type handle and profile. You know, at first I was thinking like American belt knife, something super original like that. But oh man, I want to make some more of these actually. These are pretty sweet. It's like a Canadian belt knife or what. This one's in 15D, and these sheaths right now, these are made by Joe Fu. They have like a titanium pocket clip with the with the Boba Fett symbol on there. That clips in like this. Ooh, that's tasteful, baby. Hey, honey. Having a beer with the boys. I got your sandwiches right there on the chair. Let's do it. Cheers! Ah. Keep them coming. Shot in the brew, Shelly. Keep them coming. Goddamn. Let's keep that beer flowing. Yeah, buddy. Living that custom knife maker life, dog. We're already 3 beers in, so let's fucking crush it. Ask me questions. Come on, ask me questions. Come on, I drink these beers. I put on these live feeds. You know, most of my life I'm sitting here just eating grit, just sanding stuff. Come on, talk to me. Talk to me, people. Let's see. Raphael says, "Hey man, final thoughts about the Magna Cut. Is this super duper steel that good? Small and big blades. Greeting from Brazil. What's going on, Brazil? How's it going, Raphael? Oh, burp. You know, I think it is really good because we've never had anything that was like a stainless 4V before. I mean, even when I say that, your mind is probably thinking like, oh, okay, it's like CPM 4V, but with some kind of trade-off to it. But there's no trade-off. In fact, it had finer carbides in 4V, and it was just as tough as 4V. And even at 64 Rockwell, it was as tough as ABL is at 64 Rockwell. So this steel has the opportunity to be a paradigm shift in the industry, where we've had a disconnect between the end knife user all the way up to the people manufacturing steel. So what MagnaCut has the opportunity to do is connect everybody, from the people that are making steel, it's better for them to make, the people that are selling steel, it simplifies their selling process and whatnot, the people that are heat treating, making knives, making custom knives, to making full production knives. All around, it makes people's lives easier versus the stuff that they're using right now from, you know, hate to say it, even the new S45VN, the MagnaCut is gonna, you know, it's gonna be significantly tougher. Now with raw wear resistance, the S45VN, it's gonna be just a little bit more. But the thing is, in real world use, edge holding, generally speaking, you know, if your edge is doling because it's blunting or chipping, things like that, then the MagnaCut, it's going to be superior when it comes to edge holding if that's your main mechanism of doling your edge. But, you know, if your main mechanism of doling your edge is pure raw wear resistance and hardness, then yeah, the MagnaCut, it's not purely going to outcut stuff, especially in a tier above it, like your S90Vs, your 20CVs and stuff like that, technically. But the idea is that with the MagnaCut, especially with somebody like myself who can run custom heat treatments and crazy thin geometries, you can really push the limits of MagnaCut for cutting performance. Excuse me. But at the same time, you can also push the limits for MagnaCut when it comes to durability and toughness. So really, this is a very versatile steel. You can use it from anywhere from big, large choppers to a certain degree, down to very small, like almost surgical precision blades. So the edge stability is, we haven't really seen anything like this in a stainless steel before. So it's pretty exciting. Get the t-shirt. Get the t-shirt. I'm still waiting to see one. Hey, fuck you, Mike. Just fucking ask me. You don't have to fucking beat around the bush. God damn. Elmer's in here. You have any experience with O1? How thin would you take it? I mean, it depends on what the knife is used for and, you know, what kind of heat treatment you're pushing, but you could take it really thin. I don't think O1 itself really stands out as a steel. I think there's just so much innovation and cool steels to play with that not necessarily something called O1 is gonna like be like, oh fuck, blow my mind or anything. The name of the knife should be the Angry Cricket. What do you think? Is that called the Angry Cricket, guys? Is that what this should be called? The Angry Cricket? Let me know. Let me know in the comments in there. What do you think, guys? Should we pound this beer? Later, Mike. Thanks for jumping in, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, just let me know if you want something to sharpen in the MagnaCut, and we'll try to get something like a, you know, like a blank or something down to you. I don't know. Later, man. Let's see. Kyle O'Leary says, I'm curious to see if the theory behind MagnaCut's composition will be able to be applied to something like a stainless 10V. Maybe. Maybe something like that. Maybe something like that's already in the works. Maybe it isn't. Well, we got this full cup of beer here. What do you think? Should we get rid of it? Kind of tired of looking at it. What do you think? You guys tired of looking at it? Damn. Okay. Okay, Sanchez. I'll do it. I'll chug it. Woo! Keep them coming. I'll knock them down. Shot in the brew, Shelly. Keep them coming. Don't give a fuck. Oh man, I poured this one like shit. We'll have to let that one settle. This is the... These are some good ones too. These are like... Oh god, if that would fucking focus. These are like 7%, 6.9%. So these are no Mike's Hard Lemonades over here. We don't really drink that kind of shit over here in Oregon, man. We're all about that heavy shit. Woo! Whew. I was starting to feel it a little bit. You know, guys, I've been playing with some hollow grinds. If you could magically dispense a condiment from each one of your 10 fingers, which 10 condiments would you choose? I would choose sriracha, french fry sauce, sweet and sour, honey mustard, barbecue sauce, honey barbecue sauce, Frank's Red Hot sauce, habanero Tabasco, ranch, blue cheese? No, fuck you. What do you think I am, huh? Szechuan sauce, obviously. A little faster than you thought I would answer, wasn't it? I think I'll just sip on this one a little bit, boys. We're already pounding these beers. You guys are catching up. I don't even know if anyone's even drinking here. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Come on. This is my first hollow grind. My first cool one that I like. Belt finish on there. Yeah, go grab a beer, you fucks, huh? I'm trying to drink some fucking beers. You guys are like in the goddamn library over there. Ooh. Ooh. Wake the fuck up. But yeah, we got this hollow grind here. Go grab your fucking beers, goddammit. What the fuck? I'm over here putting my ass on the line, drinking live in front of you through the power of the internet. Ain't nobody fucking drinking, huh? Yeah, there we go. Let's go, fuckers. That's the fucking spirit. That's what I like to see. Jumping in the comments and talking. Those of you that are watching this video later, yeah, there's people in the comment section, in the live section, they're talking. But yeah, hollow grind. You know, this looks like shit on the camera. I'm looking at it. I could see you could see my reflection of my finger. You know, this is kind of a point to make about some of these high vanadium steels. This is CPM 4V, 65 Rockwell. I gotta say, like, the super steels, they just don't finish very good on belts, man. A hollow grind, though, it definitely finishes better. Because you're not pinching the belt between two things that aren't moving. Usually with a hollow grind, you got a wheel with a rubber contact surface, and it really grinds much better. But we could see here with the CPM 4V at 65 Rockwell, it's kind of an inconsistent finish. And if you think about it, CPM 4V and other, you know, hypoeutectoid steels, they're a two-phase region steel where you have two different phases. You have tempered martensite, and then you have the really hard little particles of carbides inside the steel. So when a cut or scratch is moving through it with those ceramic belts, it's not really finishing it very even, you know? Now, at the same time, it's kind of like in the back of your head, you're like, dude, fuck you, Sean. It's just, you suck at grinding. And I have to take that too. Like, sure, whatever. This isn't quite ruling it out. It's like, well, you just suck at grinding. That's why it looks like that. Okay. The thing is, though, is I ground like a piece of '01 tool steel at 60 Rockwell. Holy fuck, that shit grounds so easy. I was just like, oh fuck. No wonder why makers hate this vanadium carbide bullshit, because this stuff grinds so horrible. Absolutely fucking horrible. How the heck do you sharpen a hollow grind on the stone? It's pretty straightforward, actually. So you can see, I mean, I have a bevel on there. I I slapped a belt edge on this fucker just because, with the hollow wheel, it's really easy to hit your plunges. Like my plunges, I didn't use a file guide on that. My plunges are actually pretty fucking even on this for freehand. And I was just like, oh, fucking sweet. I'm gonna sharpen using the hollow wheel, and I accidentally dug too deep. There's a little bit of a little recurve right here. It fucking drive me crazy. So this knife is kind of embarrassing for me to show, but I'm 3 beers in, so I don't feel bad at all. Uh, but there's a little bit of a recurve right here. And so you can see there's a bevel on there. So this guy asked me how to sharpen a hollow grind. It's pretty straightforward. You just don't overthink it, actually. It's scooped out on the side, but all you do, you just sharpen it like you sharpen it, to be honest. I mean, I was joking with some buddies about how if you sharpen a hollow grind knife, maybe for like teaching a sharpening class, a hollow grind would be best, because it's more difficult to scratch the side of the blade because it's fucking scooped out. So if you're the guy who's like, you can't really hold your fucking angle and you're sitting there scuffing the side of the blade, well, you can't scuff what isn't there. It's essentially scooped out. It's scooped out, man. So how to sharpen a hollow grind? You just sharpen the hollow grind, man. Yeah, you just sharpen it. Oh, there's actually a pretty complicated technique to that. You just sharpen it. Oh, man. All right. Oh, stop fucking typing shit. I gotta catch up with everything people are writing down. God damn it. Hold on. I really want to know about Magna Cut, Vanix, corrosion resistance, and all the rest. How? As tough as 4V, wishful thinking, and edge retention as M390? Crazy. Raphael, let's narrow this down, man. So Vanix is still going to be more corrosion resistant than Magna Cut because it simply puts more chromium in solution. And the chromium in solution is what's helping build that film of chromium oxide on the outside of the blade. So, those atoms, the chromium atoms, if they're freed up in the matrix of the steel, then instead of making an iron oxide, which is rust, you're making a chromium oxide, which is resisting basically the oxygen coming in and stealing stealing the carbon or whatnot. I'm not a fucking corrosion master. I don't necessarily care too much about that shit because it's not like I live by the ocean. I make a lot of knives out of, pretty corrosive steels, actually. So all you need to understand about that is that Vanix is more corrosion resistant because it puts more chromium in solution. With the Magna Cut, it puts all the chromium you need in solution. And there's no chromium hanging out like in other stainless steels that's making chromium carbide, which is clumping up the matrix with softer carbide, and also bigger carbide, which is also reducing the stability and toughness. So the edge retention is not up with M390, but in real world use, for some people, they'll probably be like, wow, this is fucking outcutting my M390 knife. In controlled testing, you're going to find that the M390 is more wear resistant because it simply has more volume of hard phase particles inside of the matrix. So M390 technically is more wear resistant. In real world though, if you have M390 over here and it's at 60 Rockwell at, let's say 20 thousandths behind the edge of a 20 degree per side, and then you have your Magna Cut over here at 62 Rockwell and it's pushing a 15 thousandths behind the edge with a 15 degree per side. In real world use, you'll find that the Magna Cut might actually cut longer. In control testing, though, you'll see that the M390 will cut longer if we're controlling for all the other factors are all at the same angle, same geometry, similar hardness, etc. You're going to find the M390 is going to cut longer. Now, technically, even if the M390 in enough controlled testing is a lower hardness, it will still cut longer because it has more of these tiny hard particles called carbides inside of the steel. So the M390 technically will cut longer. But there's more mechanisms for why your edge is not cutting than just pure wear resistance. There's other factors like edge stability. And so with the Magna Cut, we have lower carbide volume, which has been proven to help with edge stability. And at the same time, also, you have finer carbides, which is also a significant factor for helping with edge stability. And then also higher hardness, which is also another factor for edge stability. So with Magna Cut, we kind of have this it's like the killer app, you know, like this is something that real world use people may enjoy more than 20 CV, just because it's going to seem like anecdotally it's holding a sharper edge longer for you. So it's pretty fucking cool. It's not going to stop me from using high wear resistant steels because I really like the ferocity that comes up at the edge for those types of steels. But with the Magna Cut, it has ability to be like what Bruce Lee talks about, where it's like formless, where the knife maker can essentially manipulate the factors of the Magna Cut to assume the shape of whatever role you want to put that steel into. So it's, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's a fucking paradigm shift when it comes to what we thought we could have with steels. So the Magna Cut is very impressive. I'm really excited about it. The big problem right now is we can't get enough of it. So they made the first initial batch of Magna Cut, and they made a small melt of it. Okay, usually when they're making steels, they'll make them in melts. They'll melt, they'll add all the ingredients or whatnot, and it's like an amount of tonnage or whatnot. They'll make these billets, they'll send them over to Niagara Specialty Metal, they, roll them, anneal them, process them to flat bar stock and sheets for the whole knife industry to make knives out of. So they just went for it. They didn't know how good it was going to be, kind of thing. And it turned out it was fucking insane, some of the properties that we're going to get from that. They weren't sure how it was going to work out, because a lot of the times you'll have things that will work really good in research and development, and then you'll try to transfer that to like, okay, let's make it and process it at a larger amount, and it doesn't always come out the way it probably was intended to. But with Magna Cut, there was only one shot to make that work, and Dr. Laren Thomas fucking knocked it out of the park. So it's pretty insane when you think about it, because this is a knife steel that's going to work from everybody from the lowly custom knife maker drinking beer on a stupid fucking live feed with 23 people in the live feed to mass production companies that have hundreds of thousands of fans for producing knives for, upwards of, the 7 billion people that just need a knife that works decently. So it's pretty fucking insane when you wrap your mind around that shit. This is a steel that is going to be a huge shift in what we previously had to now. We are entering the age of Magna Cut as we speak. This is probably the biggest advancement in stainless steel that we've had in the past 40 to 50 years. So it's fucking crazy, man. Oh shit! We're behind on the comments here. This is hold on a second. Guys, we got a beer here. We got a full, God, how many ounces are even in these fucking cans? I can't even remember. 12 ounces? Is this a 12 ounce can? 8 ounce can? Let me know in the comments. Full can of beer in this cup. We got a problem with that. We don't like to see it. There's a lot of beer here. Cup's on empty. Shot in a brew Shelly. Keep them coming. God damn it. Cheers. Ah, fuck you. Ooh. Beer of champions. Pop a top again. Set 'em down, my friend. Don't worry. I made sure to pour that like absolute fucking shit. Got beer all over my fucking shirt. Goddamn. Woo! Woo! God damn! Come on, come on, come on, come on! God damn it! Getting belligerent. Getting can't control it. I can't control it. I can't control it. Drinking like a total asshole over here. Hold on a second. Let me catch up on the comments here. Nike, just do it. They need to make Magna Cut shirt with bigger sleeves. Yeah. To handle your power. How much grinding do you have to do pre or versus post heat treat? I don't know, man. You know, that's a difficult question to ask. You've got a lot of complications with that. That's always kind of a loaded question. I always hate that shit when somebody's asking me if I pre-grind or if I don't, or what I should do or what I shouldn't do. To me, it's like, dude, fuck you, first off, because I'm making the knives, I'm making these decisions, and I'm trying to do the best I can. I want to do the best I can with what I have and the resources and knowledge I have available. So right now, I'm at the point with, if I'm using a steel that has insane hardenability, which doesn't mean how hard the steel can get, but means how well the steel has the ability to through harden. And most of these stainless steels are air hardening tool steels, and so meaning that they have excellent hardenability. There's no issues with that. So I don't really want to deal with warping because it's not as easy as, oh, just go ahead and fucking bend it. If you're trying to get the hardest, highest performance blade possible, you're putting a lot of stress on that blade. You're going to later temper it out, but you're going to probably deal with some problems with warping. So if you do this pre-grind and all this shit, well, you're kind of fucking yourself because you can't really grind it straight. And at the same time, you're going to have a more difficult time dealing with if you have a weird little warp down there. And at the same time, you're dealing with problems with, if you're plate quenching, you're not really getting an even quench if you're trying to, make contact with the aluminum quenching blocks and you're trying to quench it. So right now, I feel like if the steel has insane hardenability, my plan at least is just to go ahead and just plate quench it and do it from full thickness. I'm selling knives at enough of a price that, I'm not worried about throwing belts at it if I need to. I just want to make sure I got the quality, and I got the hardest I'm looking for. I got, everything, all my ducks in a row. There's no way to Rockwell hardness test something that's at a different angle than fully flat and parallel to the Rockwell hardness tester. So it always really stresses me out if I try to do some kind of pre-grind, and then I go and plate quench, and then as I go plate quench, I notice that it seems like I'm cooling faster on the flats than I am where it's ground. And, in the past I tried to go ahead and I went ahead and I did that. And some of these steels are fairly forgiving to that. But I don't know, if you're really trying to push maximum hardness and performance and, you're putting a lot of stress in that steel and you're doing the cryos, there's a lot of big temperature changes and shit. Fuck it. Full thickness. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Just, $10 a belt? Fuck it. Let's just do it. I give a fuck, What's funny is I'm spending more on making the knife than most people spend on buying a knife. So I don't bat a fucking eye when it comes to selling a knife at $1,000 or $2,000. I don't give a fuck, I want to do the best job I physically can. Here's the thing you got to realize. Some people in this fucking world are really concerned about, efficiency and margins and shit like that. You run into somebody like me, I don't give a fuck. I'm fucking crazy. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. I know that in order to achieve the best at something, You can't be concerned about always trying to fucking nickel and dime, always trying to fucking squeeze the most you can out of it. Fuck it. If that's what it takes to make the best at something, make the fucking best at it, okay? Because at the end of the day, life has a 100% chance of fucking death. You're not going to live forever. No one's getting out of here. So the idea is that do the best you fucking can. You're doing everything handmade. We're on the precipice of basically everybody being fucking obsolete. They're gonna, the next 100 years, pretty much everything we can think of is gonna be automated. So what the fuck do we have left as people, as humans? I'll tell you what we have left. Just the human spirit, human energy. The fact is, I made those knives, yeah. They're expensive, yeah. They're not really within reach of people, yeah. I fucking completely understand that. I've been broke as fuck my whole life. I know that shit. I understand where you guys are coming from and stuff. The working man, $1,000 knife is not realistic. I get it. But at the same time, I'm spending weeks and weeks to make this motherfucker. And at the same time, you gotta understand that it's a material object. I get it. But there is something special, I think, about having this object that has this kind of human energy invested into it. It's just an object, it's just a material thing, it's made out of matter and atoms and stuff like that. But the fact that some dumb fuck spent his finite life shaping and finishing this thing that he only lives so long, I think average life expectancy is like 70 years old or something like that for a male, 75, 80 years old. You only got so many years, only so many revolutions of the earth spinning around the fucking sun. And you're spending that time sanding and doing all that shit so that somebody could say, that's very beautiful. And I really like the way that looks. There's human energy put into that. There's finite resources of somebody's fucking life force put into making the knife look like that. And I just think in my stupid little human pea brain, deep in my brain, I'm thinking to myself, that's fucking beautiful. In a world where everything can be like, boop, 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 fucking CNC machine, boop, 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 all this stupid shit, basically everything you could ever do in 100 years is going to be fucking obsolete. That some dumbass was like, you know what, with my limited life existence, this is fucking important. This is fucking important to me. And I'm willing to give everything to make this worth somebody else's eyes and emotions and feelings, that this was worth enough for him to spend his finite life to make this fucking beautiful and perform good. And everything this stupid fuck had, he put into making this stupid finite object. It's not even like these knives are gonna last 1,000 years. They probably last a couple 100 years, right? Like in the future, like far, far in the future, these are gonna be rusted out pieces of shit. There's gonna be 3 B's barely visible on them and shit. But to me, with my stupid existence, that's very important to me. Because at the end of the day, I think we as people, it's up to us to define what our purpose is in life. Nobody tells us. I think growing up, I was always thinking to myself that it would just come to me that this purpose or definition of what my life should be would come to me, or you're always taught from Disney movies that all of a sudden the fucking genie pops out and he tells you, oh, I'm gonna tell you everything, your destiny and all this shit. It never happens, because it's up to you. It's up to you to decide what's important in your life. Your life is purposeless until you decide what to define it as. And I realize that in the big picture of humanity, a knife is trivial. I get it. But at the same time, fuck it. If you decide to be anything from a knife maker to a janitor, just fucking go all the way. Just go fucking all the way. If I wasn't a knife maker, if I was a janitor, just fucking go all the way. Fuck it. Just go all the way you can with it, because you know what? Time is short. You're gonna spend forever as nothing, and a limited time as just existing all together at this time right now. And so fucking do it. Just fucking do it, So that's my kind of thinking in my mind about shit. Got this fucking scrubby looking dude with the fucking beer on his shirt, man. And he's telling you all this shit, but That's how I feel deep inside. You know, I gotta get a couple brew of me to talk about this shit, but fuck it. We'll pour the rest of this beer here. I haven't been keeping track of comments here. Let's try to catch up to everything here. Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm getting fucking blasted live on the internet with strangers. What do you think? Of course I'm not okay. Fucker. 3 a.m. here in Brazil, and I'm watching a guy drinking badass beer, talking about steels things. But you know, at the end of the day, there's not enough fucking knife content out there. We love this shit. We love talking about this stuff. I don't care who you are, even if you disagree with me. At the end of the day, we love this shit. We love this knife stuff. We love talking about the steels. We love geeking about the sharpening. We love all of this stuff. Even if we're like, I don't know if I agree with that, what that guy's saying, but fuck, there's not enough of this stuff out here for me to like really, I need more of it. I'm the same way. Like, I watch YouTube videos. I want more. I want more of the steel stuff. I want more of the geeking about geometry, geeking about the sharpening, the stones, the steel, the heat treatment, all that shit. We eat this shit up. You know, we love it. So I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. The epitome is priceless. Thanks, man. Glad to make it a triple B. Really impressed that you're grinding full thickness on these insane high carbide steels to chase the level of perfection. Thanks for your answer. Thanks, man. Thanks for letting me know. Thanks for giving me the feedback. Thanks for the positive shit. You know, every time I get a positive comment, it uplifts me. Thank you. I appreciate it. When I get a negative comment, it doesn't bring me down. You know, just speak your mind. It's whatever. I don't give a shit. You know, you don't know what you don't know. And thanks for sharing. You know, and don't mind if I bite your head off sometimes, because you know I'm not always in the mood for that negative shit. So it's whatever. Here I am, you know, just sitting here live, you know, sloppy fuck with stains on my shirt and shit, and, you know, drinking beer, whatever, you know. What up, man? I really relate to what you're saying right now, man. Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Truth. Thanks, dude. Just joining, Triple B dropping some knowledge on this biatch. Yeah, man, just informal speech. You know, I think we get so caught up in just always trying to be right and trying to be formal about everything and polite. Sometimes you just gotta speak from your fucking heart. And yeah, thanks for joining me. That's why we have Toyota and why we have Porsche, Ferrari, and McLaren. Keep up your great work, man. Dude, I feel that. Thank you, Rafael. Esteveras, I appreciate that shit, man. I know, yeah, down in Brazil and shit, nobody needs a knife that expensive, but fucking I appreciate the fuck out of that comment you just dropped me. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate that. Thanks, man. Thanks a ton. Man, watching a guy drink it up and talking about the spirituality of making knives, yeah, amazing. Keep it up. Thanks, Sanchez. I appreciate that shit. Yeah, man. You know, this is like, knife making is a total like robot chore. You know, and what I mean by robot chore is like, this is like some like disconnect yourself from fucking humanity kind of work. You know, you're just in your goddamn shop. You're just fucking grinding. You're eating grit all day. Dude, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting there in my own fucking head all day. Listen, man, a person like me, I'm a people person. You know, I gotta do these live feeds so I don't go fucking crazy. Like, this shit's fucking hard for me. I almost wish I was more introverted, less of a people person, because, dude, I would be the best knife maker ever if I was a total fucking shut-in. If I was like, I hate people. I don't like talking to anybody. I'd be the most amazing. I'd be so efficient at doing this shit. I can't do that shit. I go fucking crazy. I go fucking crazy, man. Like, it's just like, You by yourself all fucking day because at the end of the day, a custom knife maker, it's a solo operation. You don't work with anybody. You do your own thing. You express yourself. It's the truest form of self-expression. Like there's no other. I feel like. Feel free to get in the comment section and be like, "Oh fuck you! My pottery is the truest form." Yeah, sure. You can't cut anything with pottery, dumbass. Get the fuck out of here. But what I mean is like, yeah, it's fucking tough, man. And it's nice to kind of have these live feeds, drink some fucking beers, and just express yourself your truest form, and just talk about, some of the energy you're putting into this shit that just only you are a witness to as a knife maker. There's nobody else there witnessing any of that shit. With social media, you're trying to just have other people witness what you're doing. It's an amazing time we live in where you can share more things to make more people aware of things that they have never been aware of in the past and have just only read in books with people that were literate enough to even explain and articulate into text. There's always something that's lost in text, though, whenever you express it. So with social media, it's fucking amazing because you can get on a video and you can express yourself in the conversation, the zeitgeist of the conversation of the people of our times. And so it's interesting with these videos we can make. They are the living expression of our time right now. Like in 10 years, none of anything I'm talking about will be relevant. But in this moment, it is, it's insane how powerful the power of present is right now, in this moment. Whoa. We're 4 beers in. We got another beer here. We're probably gonna drink more. I'm feeling fucking good. You guys are commenting some great shit. Usually I do these live feeds, and we don't get all the fucking cool comments, man. keep talking. Keep posting comments and stuff. I get to them. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm ignoring your shit. I know what it's like to be at the other end of a live feed where you're like, hurry the fuck up and get to my comment. I commented. I'll comment twice if I have to. Just comment. I'm gonna read down them. I'm not gonna leave you guys fucking hanging. I know how it is. I've been on the other end. Knife won't be rusted. Knife won't be rusted out. Ion. Right on. Oh, hold on. He explained better. Knife won't be rusted out in 400 years if it's made out of CPM Magica. Fuck yeah! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. That's fucking tight. Dude, that just you saying that makes me more excited to make knives out of Magna Cut. That's fucking sick. I can't even say your fucking name. Don't hate me. I'm gonna try to butcher it. Nan Diane. He said that basically, if you make the knife out of Magna Cut in 400 fucking years, the knife won't be rusted out. Holy shit. That's actually a fucking crazy thought in my head. Listen. Come here, guy. Come here. Shut the fuck up. Come here. Look, think about that. Every human existence, what? If you believe in evolution and all that stuff, humans have existed for 200,000 years, modern Homo sapiens. Throughout that existence, stainless steels have only existed in the 20th century. So, if you think about it, we haven't existed long enough to see the decay of stainless steels and how long they'll last. We see spearheads from the Bronze Age and all that shit. Just imagine, for my ego, nobody's immune to having ego. Fuck off if you think I'm egotistical. Everybody has an ego. But for my ego, I'm thinking about some archaeologist uncovering a fucking Triple B handmade knife, and he's like, oh, holy fuck, I found a fucking knife blade. And it's Magna Cut, and it's, oh, look at this shit. This is what it looked like. This is the knives they used back in, 2020. Or whatever their carbon dating or whatever the fuck they're using to date something is. Wow, that's crazy. Not quite immortality, but the fact that like you can make something that will last several generations and still exist and probably still be able to be sharpened and cut something is fucking crazy. Wow. Then again, we haven't even seen like 440C dug up from the earth and somebody pulling out, wow, look at this knife. 440C, that's insane. Oh, look at this, we can sharpen it and cut it. So who knows? But when we're all dead, when everybody watching this video is fucking dead, beyond dead, wouldn't that be crazy to see what lasts in 400 years? It's fucking insane. Magnica, ooh. I didn't expect my night to go this way, but I'm definitely not complaining. Aha! Right on, brother. Thanks, man. Aliens in 1,000 years will find Spyderco salt knives. Dude, isn't that fucking crazy when you think about it? That's pretty weird because it's like plastic and shit. That stuff's not breaking down. What's next for steel tech? How much further can we go? Steel has infinite combinations. You have a customizable tempered martensite matrix. You have the ability to change what's going in and out of solution and how much hard phase carbide particle volume you have left over and how hard it is. So we have yet to see the limits of knife steel technology. There's no need to jump over to other dumb shit. That's my opinion. Triple B, love your work, Corey. Where do you land on the hypothesis of carbide tear out? I don't know. I don't think we've seen enough testing with bonded super abrasive stones to really see how much carbide tear out affects the longevity of sharpness for a knife. So I think that when Roman Landes coined the term carbide tear out when he wrote his book, there weren't as much sharpening technique and abrasive technology available at the time, as well as heat treatment information to really emphasize how much better things could be if you had those technologies. So I think that we haven't really seen how potent carbide tear out is, because at the end of the day, Todd Simpson, who does the Science of Sharp SEM blog where he takes pictures of stuff SEM, which is very expensive to do. It's not like something you could just do just in your backyard kind of stuff. You have to platinum coat things. I learned from Dr. Laird. And wow, that's really fascinating. So Todd Simpson, he's doing something very special for the knife community at the Science of Sharp blog, where he's taking SEM pictures of edges and he knows how to sharpen. That's freaking amazing. And so what it looked like from his sharpening of Maximat with ceramic stone, softer abrasive, he was using a Shafton Pro, and then he was using a Wicked Edge, basically coated diamond stone. It looked like the coated diamond stone was cutting everything flush with the apex, and then the Shafton Pro was basically cutting everything around the carbide. But with Maximat, the steel is so hard at 70 Rockwell, it wasn't quite soft enough for the carbides to just fall out. So you're cutting around the carbide, maybe you're breaking carbides to shape, but it seems like the theory in 2020, 2019, 2021 is that maybe carbide tear out, as far as like what Roman Landes was talking about in his book, where it was like a loose tooth from weak gums theory of what you're eroding the gum and so that the tooth falls out. Maybe if the matrix is actually much harder and stronger, it's holding onto those carbides just fine. But you are just tearing up the matrix and your carbides are being broken and fatigued to shape. That maybe the carbides aren't falling out like you would think if you have a steel like Maximat at 67, 70 Rockwell from Spyderco. So that's kind of really interesting to talk about. I think there needs to be more things ruled out to really define what the fuck is going on. At the end of the day, though, what you need to understand is if you're working with any steel with more than 4% volume vanadium carbide inside the matrix, larger carbide, etc., stop fooling yourself. You need to use diamond or CBN. Stop fucking around. Just use the right abrasive. It's not an issue. Listen, I made that CPM 15V kitchen knife Gyoto thinner than anybody would think you could ever go with CPM 15V. Harder than anywhere you think you would be able to go with CPM 15V. The carbide sizes in CPM 15V are no bigger than 3 to 4 micron at their largest clusters. So we're talking about a very fine carbide structured steel. The carbides are super hard, but if you cut everything flush with a harder abrasive, what the fuck is the big deal? Now, while I have to shape it with ceramic, etc., and bust my ass to make that knife, at the edge where, maybe the smaller percentage of differences matters the most, just use the diamond CBN and move on with your fucking life. Don't make such a big deal about, tell me about the fine details of carbide tear so I can get away with my cheap fucking $6 stone from the hardware store. Listen, it costs so much fucking money to make a knife like that, really thin with custom heat treat, etc., with crazy geometry. Just spend the fucking money and get the right abrasive to make it work. Stop fucking around. So I feel like sometimes when people are asking about carbide tear out, they're trying to ask in a way that they're trying to be cheap and trying to get away with using the shittiest abrasive possible, or just cheaper abrasive than diamond, because they look at the price of that shit and they're like, there's got to be a way around this. Stop. That's the wrong way to look at it altogether. Just get the diamond CBN, rule it out, move on with your life. That's all I use when it comes to shaping edges with steels like that. I don't have any fucking problems. It gets really sharp. And then you get the ferocity of having this really hard-phased particles bristling at the edge, flush with the apex with the tempered martensite matrix. Fucking amazing. Stop fucking around. That's my opinion, though. I think that in order to say that this is universal, you need to back it up. You need to be able to rule it out. But for me, it's I'm going to give myself my head's going to explode if I sit here and waste my time on that. I'm seeing it. There's enough of a difference to see it anecdotally that I personally feel there's not necessarily enough reason to really go for the controlled testing just to be okay, without a doubt, this is what's happening. But I understand that in the world of science and people really needing to know for sure, that's not how shit works. So that's where I'm at on carbide tear out. Will you make 440C versions of your knife? Dude, I have 440C steel. I spent the money. I went to Alpha Knife Supply. I bought the N695, which is the Bowler equivalent of 440C. And there was a really interesting study on 440C where they were getting high hardnesses. They were showing that if you start going out past 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, that you're really shrinking down the larger M23C6 carbide clusters. That usually in steels that have lower amounts of carbon and chromium, you dissolve the M23C6, which is a softer KM1 carbide, really easy. But in steels like M440C, the M323C6 doesn't really dissolve. Not until you start getting up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But the problem is you start running into the problems of putting too much chromium in solution. You start running into the problems of getting retained austenite. So while the micrographs are showing that the carbides are finer and that you're getting more of the harder M7C3 chromium carbide, the K2 carbide, there's also other problems with making your tempered martensite matrix more filled up with retained austenite and other features that maybe you don't want. And there's also concern of grain growth and stuff, but to be honest, with that much carbide volume, you're really pinning grains, and if you're not holding overly long austenitizing times, you're not really worried about grains blowing up because of the designer pinning mechanism where these carbides are actually pinning grains. So 440C, you can start running 63, 64 Rockwell and with finer carbide sizes, and if you're able to find a way to mitigate things like retained austenite and as well as things like grain growth, you're never going to put so much carbon in solution that you're making plate martensite and stuff with 440C. The limiting factor is by putting in too much retained austenite and grain growth from holding too long. So with 440C, I thought it was interesting to wow, chromium carbides are something that shapes really fucking easy on any stone. And this is something that if I didn't tell anybody what the steel is, they'd be like, that's the best fucking steel I've ever used. So yeah, 440C at 63, 64 Rockwell with finer M7C3 carbide clusters. Fuck yeah. I got a piece of it in my shop. I've ran the Rockwell hardness testing and it was 63, 64. But we don't know until we get it into an edge and we test it. And maybe the higher Rockwell is because we're getting a higher ultimate tensile strength, but we're dropping yield strength, which means that, also we have buildup of retained austenite that we're not seeing on the Rockwell hardness tester. So maybe we're not getting the yield strength we want. Maybe we sharpen it, and while it's higher Rockwell, the retained austenite that's hidden from the Rockwell tester is showing up as a more stubborn burr. It's more, kind of chippy kind of shit. Like, we got to check that shit out. It's these fine details that I think elude the normie, the casual knife fuck, that just wants to just fucking easy answer shit. So, yeah, man. 440C, will I ever use it? Fuck yeah. I'm above the fucking names of stuff. I don't give a fuck what the name of something is. I care about what it does. And so while 440C is a difficult sell, I need to at least make anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per knife because of the time I spend on researching and doing all this stuff and making a good final product that's a good finish and stuff like that. The time that's put in for this stuff, it needs to sell for higher money because the time is invested into it. I'm not just fucking grinding the shit and giving it to you and fuck you, you figure it out. A lot of knife makers, I feel, they expect the customer to do the R&D for them. So a sign of this is that when a knife maker says, well, I've sold over 1,000, 10,000 knives, or whatever the fucking number they give you, and they say, I've never gotten any complaints about them. What the fuck? This is the stupidest fucking shit I've ever heard. Dude, if you grind anything thick enough, there's never going to be any flaws exposed in your heat treat game because the geometry will hide it. So to me, it's just this is the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard. But at the same time, it's you can't argue it because it's it makes you sound like an asshole. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm not above using 440C. I could fine tune it and stuff. And I think it's I like the idea of taking something and, using the knowledge of how it works at the deepest possible level and trying to use that to synergize the absolute maximum performance for it. And there's no denying that chromium carbides are the easiest carbides to shape that are still harder than iron carbides found in most of your simple carbon steels. So for a lot of people, they were thinking that stuff like LMAX with the third gen powdered metallurgy was sharpening better because of finer carbide sizes, but the micrographs that Dr. Larry Thomas was coming up with was showing that if you have a carbon chromium balance, it's showing that you're making more chromium carbide. More chromium carbide is always going to be larger and chunkier, even with PM processing. If you look at CPMD2, XHP, LMAX, these are steels that people are saying are sharpening excellent, but at the same time they have bigger carbides and stuff like S30V, S60V, S45V, etc. But these people are saying that they're sharpening better, and they do sharpen better. They're not lying. So it just goes to show that softer carbide, it just shapes better. Something about when you're sharpening freehand, and when you're freehanding, you are convexing towards the apex when you're freehanding. Now you're crossing over because you're getting the burr. You're not scuffing the side of the blade, so you should measure from the shoulder of that apex, the shoulder, because you're not scuffing the side, but you are convexing towards the apex. So if this steel has harder particles that are resisting being shaped towards that apex, for something like S110V, you have the same shoulder, but maybe for S110V, it's actually convexing more. And maybe for CPM154, it's convexing less because it's not resisting as much from the subtle variance in angle as you're coming through. So it's fucking fascinating theories, about that I've been thinking about. But holy fuck. I can't remember the original question. I'm reading all the comments. Fuck off. I gotta scroll back up. You guys are killing it. I love it. Have you seen much on the just what I saw on social? Have I seen much on the elastic ceramic? Just what I saw on social media. I haven't used it. I'm not really. It's not really anything I'm interested in, to be honest. It's not what I'm interested in. The philosophy of life with the big brown bear. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Sender. Can you say anything about your spider folder? Yeah, I could say a little bit about the spider folder. I've really put my foot down, and I really wanted that folder made in Golden, Colorado, because for me, Spyderco, the heart of Spyderco is Golden, Colorado. The Golden facility before I was a knife maker was very special to me because for me, I always thought of that as like I just said, the heart of Spyderco, the place where things are made, where Eric and Sal are showing up for work and they're sitting there and they're thinking about what they're going to do that day, and made in America, all these American employees. And when you love Spyderco enough, you've experienced Spyderco from all these different factories that they come from Italy, from Taiwan, etc. And there's a special just taste to the Golden, Colorado factory that you can almost put if you're enough of a Spyderco fan, you can almost put a blindfold on, and you could feel the knives, and there's just a certain quality that comes from that Golden factory and how they feel, how that G10, that peel ply feels, just the subtle features and how they're finished and stuff that is very fucking special to me. And I was told that the Golden factory is really backed up. They are busy making the most popular knife in the EDC community for the past 10 years, the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, maybe even longer. Some people may argue that they don't like the Paramilitary 2, etc. That is one of the finest everyday carry knives ever made. The features that it comes with, the choils, the G10, love it or hate it, they changed things when they made that knife. And there was a time when you couldn't get one. Some of you guys are newer to this knife game, but there was a time you couldn't get a PM2, even if you wanted one. And just black G10 peel ply with S30V at 5960 Rockwell, and you couldn't get one. Okay? You guys are so fucking spoiled right now with everything out there, but there was a time when you couldn't even get a fucking Paramilitary 2. You had nothing fancy videos. Those are the only EDC videos you had to watch on YouTube, and it was tough times, man. It was the fucking dark ages. But, I'm living the dream right now, and if I can get a knife made anywhere, I could get it. If we had it made in Taiwan, you guys would already have the fucking knife. You'd already have the knife. But I wanted that shit made in Golden. So they told me, we don't know when this shit's going to get made. I said, I don't give a fuck. I'll wait till all the goddamn stars burn out in the goddamn sky. I don't fucking care. I want it made in Golden. That's special, That's special. If you're going to get it made, Golden, Colorado. Just the ring of it. Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth. Come on. Come on. For reals. So be patient. Be fucking patient. Stop fucking with me. We like seeing you go live, man. You have so much knowledge and passion to share. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I'm not above reading comments like that and seeing you guys share that stuff with me. So if you ever feel like, I'm going to comment, I don't know if he's going to read this shit, I read that shit. I like it. Thank you. I ordered McDonald's and they forgot the sauce from my chicken nuggets. Those motherfuckers, dude. Fuck. Fuck. You think I got this fat without eating McDonald's? I know that pain. Your live feeds are the only ones I ever watch. I love how genuine and passionate you are. I've learned so much from your steel and knives from you. Your work is inspiring. Thanks, man. I appreciate that shit. I love that you share that with me. It makes me want to do more live feeds, but sometimes I don't feel like doing it. Live feeds, they just depend on how I feel. If I feel like putting my ugly face on the fucking camera and shit and talking from my heart. Listen, dude, anybody who ever posts anything on social media, you put yourself out there to get crushed like a bug from the internet, so it's kind of tough sometimes. You got to be in the right mood for it. You're not always in the right mood for that bullshit. Sometimes you're like, fuck everything, I don't want to share shit. Magna cut is a steel of choice for archaeologists. Fuck yeah. Modern nitrogen steels and plastics will be around for a long time. Yeah, man. That's why you gotta make every knife out of Magna cut and every handle out of micarta. I just saw this on the recommended. This is a late live stream. Oh, it ain't late. I got more fucking beer. You call me a pussy? I'll drink all night. I don't give a fuck. Agreed. Buy good stones for your good knives. Fuck yeah. Hey, great to join another live stream. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Answers like yours are why I respect you. Gotta peace out. Thanks for what you do. My hibernatum steels never freaking change. Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Scott Gunn is another up and coming name and embraces sharpening industry and hints towards making his own stones and stropping materials. Well, have you had a chance to speak to him? I don't. I kind of focus on what I do. I think that like when you're already doing something and you're trying to sell it and make money, other people that are trying to do something on their own and sell it and make money, they probably don't want to have much to do with you because they're trying to find their own path. Now, for myself, if somebody's doing something better than me, I'll fucking say it. Like I don't mind, because at the end of the day, my passion isn't. I don't. It's not with necessarily making money. It should be, but I care about whatever works the best. That's no bullshit. Whatever works the fucking best. And also, I'm infected by people that are also passionate. So Scott Gunn makes a fucking stone, and I try that stone. It's like, holy fuck, this is amazing. I'll be the first motherfucker to tell you. But it comes down to that. I care about what works. I feel that society as a whole, a meritocracy, based off of your merit, whatever works better, that's important, man. I feel like so much of shit is like a fucking hierarchy and all that crap and social games and fuck all that. Whatever works the best, it works the best. It may not be the best for me because I'm not making fucking money. I can't provide for my shit. But if something's better, I'll be like, wow. Painfully, I'll be like, this is pretty fucking cool. For question critique on the chef knife you posted on Instagram today, it's obviously a go-to style, but with a new handle profile that is very popular. And he says, as a pro chef, I've seen several gyutos and lots of time, and I don't use them because of the knuckle clearance given between the pinch grip. Yeah, but you also have to understand the complications of making that knife. So that's CPM 15V. And I have to fit it in my 1.97 inch Dewar opening, which is about that big. So I can give you the knuckle clearance, but I can give you a piece of shit heat treat because I can't fit it into my Dewar to cryo it. Or I can modify the design to give you the performance. So until I'm selling enough knives to make money to get a bigger Dewar, you're going to get a 1.97 clearance when I'm heat treating to full thickness, and it may be slightly more narrow. So that's just a consequence of trying to get you the performance limited by the tools I have available to make the knife and process it right now that you are not aware of as somebody who's just at the end user side of trying to I want more knuckle clearance. Well, my Dewar opening is 1.97 inches wide, bro. So, fuck. It's 15V at 66. Cut me a break. And I'm getting a little defensive, but listen, man. I started that knife before my daughter was born. So that was back in December. And I heat treated it. And I wanted to get that knife fucking done before she was, born and alive. Because for me, it was like, I'm thinking to myself, like, fuck. I'm having my first kid. Like, I just feel like I need to have, like, when you're in that position, you just feel like, fuck, you need to have everything you're ever going to do, all your accomplishments, they need to be done. And you need to be, like, successful and amazing and all that stuff because, you're going to have kids now and you got to prove to the world that, like, wow, like, I'm somebody, I have a kid now and they're going to follow my, I'm amazing. There's a kid now. Look up to me. But, I couldn't get that thing done. It was tough. I had to sell other stuff, other knives I had to get done to get the money, to get the belts I needed to grind that motherfucker, 15V is 23% vanadium carbide volume. Now, S30V is 4% vanadium carbide volume that's formed after heat treatment, with the remainder being 10% vanadium enriched M7C3 carbide. So you have a significant amount of just raw, pure, hard phase particles inside the steel that are harder than the surrounding matrix at 86, 87 Rockwell. No matter what I test on my Rockwell tester, I won't be able to test individual carbides. That's not how that shit works. But we have these little particles inside the steel that are 87, 86 Rockwell, especially depending on how rich they are in elements. So that was a motherfucker to grind. You don't like to admit that stuff because that robs the beauty and magic of making something. Whenever you talk about how hard it is to make it, you know, it kind of makes it like, it's not very sexy when you're kind of complaining about how difficult that was to make. But that was fucking difficult to make. Anybody who knows a little more details about stuff knows that, like, wow, that's fucking kind of difficult to grind. It's kind of like one of those things where, like, anybody who's like, oh, easy, I'll go grind it myself. And you go grind a piece of 15V at 66 Rockwell, it's going to be kind of fucking difficult to grind, especially if you're trying to maintain, you know, you're trying to prevent, like, heat damage and fatigue and stuff, and burning your fucking fingers on the belt and stuff like that. Yeah, because only sharp ceramic abrasive is going to cut that shit. So essentially what's going on is you're pissing belts at this. You know, it takes tenacity, it takes heart, where you're like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how long this takes to grind. I'll throw all the belts on the planet at this shit. I don't give a fuck. And that's what you do. And meanwhile, while some makers are concerned with how many knives they can get per belt, per one belt, one $10 belt, you are throwing $10 belt after $10 belt at this motherfucker until you shape it. So yeah, I would love to have more knuckle clearance, but performance overrides some of the details, unfortunately. In the future, I'd like to get a bigger dewar. The problem with a larger opening of the dewar is your liquid nitrogen evaporates faster. So it also has more cost in that if you have a larger dewar with larger mouth opening, it evaporates faster because your liquid nitrogen, you're not actually sealing it in that container, because if you did, it would explode. So your liquid nitrogen has to evaporate. So a smaller opening will maintain the liquid nitrogen for longer. So it's always this kind of fucking trade-off, you know? And I want to save up because I'd like to do something like a Chinese cleaver. I want to have options. I want to have the ability to do, you know, wider blades and etc. Like any knife maker wants to. But listen, when you're getting fucked with a fist in your ass for buying belts, you don't have time to buy different equipment. You're buying more fucking belts. So I appreciate your criticism about having more knuckle clearance, but I'm just giving you some insight about, on my end of the bargain, what it takes to do that shit. So don't get offended. I'm just keeping it real, man. Just giving you some insight you didn't know about something that you just, hey, why don't you do this? And I'm like, oh, wow, I never fucking thought of that. Like, I do think about that. It's just I'm limited by certain things you're not aware of. Don't get offended. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like get defensive at shit and be an asshole. I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm 4 beers in. I'm drinking the 7% shit. I'm not drinking the Mike's Hard Lemonade like some pussies out there. I'm drinking the full bore shit. I'm giving you guys the full Big Bear experience, man. I'm getting fucking faded live on the internet with fucking strangers and shit. There's people out there I don't fucking like, you know. And I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm just keeping it real. So yeah, thank you. It's a good question. Yeah. What kind of edge finish do you like on Mathercut so far? With a steel like 3% vanadium, I prefer a 600 grit edge. I would say it depends on geometry and heat treatment as well as use. But I think with Mathercut, because like I said earlier in this live feed, Mathercut can assume formlessness, shapelessness. It can be molded to the will of the maker for whatever desired use or, you know, preference that the end user maybe desires. I would say you probably can't go up to like on a stone 10,000 grit on your ceramic stone or anything like that. I would say that you can probably finish up to about 3,000 grit. anywhere from 5 to 7 micron stone. And from there, you have a multitude of different stropping compounds that you can further refine the edge from there. And so Magna Cut will excel at anything from push cut to, it even has some properties with draw cut and aggression. But you definitely need to enhance hardness if you want to really take advantage of either of those for pure edge performance functions. But if you're trying to push the Magna Cut into a roll where it's just trying to be durable and tough and have more ductility, it has to be somewhat softer. But the idea with Magna Cut is the Magna Cut sweet spot is between 62 and 65 Rockwell. So it has a big range of hardness, and Magna Cut at its softest is starting at 62, and it has great ductility at 62. So if you buy a production knife at Magna Cut at 62, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to be able to love to put any edge finish you desire on it, and it should come up very easy. The steel by its design has low retained austenite, which means that through heat treatment, you're not going to have this soft, ductile gummy phase hidden within the steel, because by its design, it's putting every bit of that chromium in solution without having to worry about having retained austenite buildup for getting the maximum stainless effect of having such low chromium volume. So with the steel like Magna Cut, you're going to notice that even from a production company, this is theory. I haven't used every fucking production knife, so don't watch this video and fucking bust my ass about how your fucking piece of shit knife that some number cruncher decided to skip steps on making a proper knife. The idea though is that it should come up nice. It should come to a burr nice. It should deburr nicely, and it should take a very nice crisp edge. It'll be on the keener side when it comes to aggression. It's not going to be the most aggressive steel possible. It has an extremely fine carbide volume, and it's at 8% total volume. It's a mixed carbide fraction between vanadium and neodymium carbide. And the nitrogen is going to be enhancing some of the vanadium carbide. So you're going to have vanadium carbonitride. And it's going to be a very interesting steel. I think a lot of people they're very much going to enjoy it from what we have now to experience stainless PM steel. Unlike Vanex, which is just more focused on having a little bit more carbonitride volume and lower hardness with a lot more rust resistance, with the Magna Cut, it has as much corrosion resistance as you would expect from a knife. It's going to be more corrosion resistant than 20 CV, despite the fact that 20 CV has 20% chromium. And for a lot of people, they're not experiencing rust on their 20 CV, and 20 CV is considered to be very stainless. So what more do you want? You're going to have higher hardness, finer carbides, 8% volume, so you're not reducing your stability and toughness. It's going to be pretty fucking cool shit. I'm wearing the t-shirt. Come on, man. It should be dope. Oh, man. Hold on, I'm catching up on this stuff. I'm catching up. I'm sorry if I missed your comment. I'm not trying to be an asshole. Come on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to keep up on your comments here. I'm reading back through them. I get on these rants and I start glazing over your comments. I realize you guys are probably like, man, this fucking guy, he's not reading my fucking comment. Is SPY27 just a flash in the pan? I don't think so. I talked to Sal at Spyderco at Blade Show 2021, and I think that with new steels coming out, we've kind of been on a kick where every new steel that come out had to have more wear resistance and more of everything. And I think with SPY27, there's a little bit confusion because it's like, okay, this is Spyderco's first exclusive steel. Spyderco has worked with steels like S110V, S90V. They've made knives out of Maximet, which no one wants to work with. So whatever new steel Spyderco has to come out with has to be the most wear-resistant steel possible. But honestly, what SPY27 represents is a more balanced steel focused on some of the features that these American steels made by Crucible have not been focusing on, which is more sharpenability. So there's kind of some unique flavors with the Japanese steels in that we get really nice sharpenability from some of these steels that shouldn't make necessarily sense when it comes to the chemistry. There shouldn't be anything necessarily exciting about them. They're kind of in the 440B, 440C range when it comes to wear resistance, but there's kind of some exciting sharpenability going on. They kind of really make a nice little matrix and stuff. The carbides are a little clumpier and stuff, but they really seem to sharpen nice. They really make enjoyable edges. It just goes to show some of the details that are maybe lost in translation when it comes to just the more material science properties of what makes something this or that. So with SPY27, they were realistically trying to make a powdered metallurgy upgrade version of VG10. And while there were some upgrade versions of VG10, such as Cobalt Special used by Falcon even, with Spider 27, this is a much more of a refined upgrade over Cobalt Special, which if you guys have been watching my YouTube channel for a long time, you know that I was a really avid, Chozera, 90 watt Chozera fan, Waterstone, ceramic stone sharpening guy. And with steels like the Cobalt Special, I really loved how that stuff sharpened. I was like, I know people are saying this and that about other steels, but this Cobalt Special steel is fucking awesome. I love how it sharpens. And so with the SPY27, it's kind of the same thing. Now, I was disappointed to see some of the micrographs of SPY27 and seeing that it had a lot more kind of clustering. The carbides were very far apart. I was under the expectation that everything would be very finely dispersed, but what's going on is that we're making a lot more of these chromium carbides, and these are kind of solidifying before the rest of the steel's cooling because of the carbon chromium balance in this steel. And so we're getting a lot more of these kind of larger chromium carbides that are further spread apart than everything else. So it kind of looks like a more refined version of something like a 19C27. But this stuff can hit some pretty high hardnesses. I actually got a piece of this SPY27 for making knives and stuff from Spyderco. Sal was nice enough to hook it up. I told him how really interested I was in this steel and how I've been a really big fan of this stuff. And I was like, Sal, you guys started me on this kind of knife making stuff because you guys got me so excited about these steels. So, man, could you just give me a piece and I could test it? I'll give you guys some test information about it. Just let me try this stuff out. And so I got the SPY27 and I did some coupons and ran some different awesomatizing temperatures. And I was thinking that maybe this stuff with with the cobalt additions and niobium, things shouldn't be dissolving until a much higher temperature, et cetera, et cetera. But honestly, it peaked out at a much lower temperature than I expected. But I was still able to hit the 65 Rockwell. Well, we got great tempering response for hardness and stuff like that. And so I was able to get the SPY27 consistently to 65 Rockwell. So I was really stoked about that. Now, how tough that would be for a production knife, I have no idea. I don't know the complications of mass producing that. But I thought it was fucking cool. Now, what's interesting is that the production knives that Spyderco is making, they're running that stuff at 62 Rockwell, which for the majority of person that may or may not be geeked out on sharpening, that's going to work for a lot of people. That's already significantly harder than what you would normally find in your S30V, which is running about 60 Rockwell. So you're going to reduce carbide volume. You're going to have less of the harder carbide, but maybe you want a slightly higher hardness, easier to sharpen steel that's going to have a little bit more stability. So I think that SPY27 has its place in being a good all-around high sharpenability steel for somebody who doesn't want to invest in the diamond stones and stuff like that. It does have some harder carbide volume. It's at such a low volume though that maybe it doesn't really affect the edge. We'll have to do some more testing with that. But in my experience, I don't think it does. I mean, even on my SPY27 Spyderco Para 3 lightweight, when I run diamond stones on it, the diamond stones seem to chew up the steel more. So I could probably get more sharpness from a ceramic stone, which isn't going to dig as deep with the harder abrasive into the bevel, give me a better surface roughness because the abrasive isn't going to be as aggressive. So I think that SPY27 has its place. I think that it might be a really interesting competitor for S30V for your common man. I think that the raw information about it, you'd be like, dude, you're smoking crack. S30V is clearly better on paper. There's something that's always lost in translation from what's good on paper to what's good in real world. And I think that Spyderco is really onto something. I think it's a very bold move for them to understand that everything is pointing that this steel on paper is not as good. But real world, anecdotally, people sharpening different ways and using different ways, they might experience this steel in a way that they feel like the SPY27 is better than S30V. Now, hear me out. There was this guy, he was doing edge testing on blade forms, and he was like, hey, anybody want to tell me why I was getting 420 HC outcutting VG10? And technically, that's not possible because 420 HC, if you know anything about like the chemistry of the steel, it has way less carbon. You're gonna have way less of these hard phase carbides, etc. Like VG10, if you look at it under a micrograph, it has way more of these carbides. The thing is, though, and even though they're probably both at about the same hardness, just under 60 Rockwell, etc., like this guy was just getting a sharper edge off the 420 HC. And so for him, he's starting from a sharper place. So when he goes to use the knife for his testing, he's getting the 420 HC to outcut the VG10. So he's thinking like he's on to something. When realistically, it's like, because it was that much easier to fucking sharpen, he's like, oh wow, this is fucking, this is outcutting the VG10. So it just goes to show some of the other real world factors that come in. If you're not reducing variables and ruling things out, you can be bamboozled by all this stuff where it's like, wow, the 420 HC is outcutting the technically superior steel on paper. So I think with the SPY27, it has that kind of like anecdotal experience for a lot of majority of the knife users out there, where they'll take that steel, they'll go use it, and if think about it like this: if you took that steel, you didn't know what the name of it was, you didn't know all these stupid details I'm talking about right now, and you just, in a blind test, you just go and you use it, and you're just like, which one works better? If you didn't, you don't know anything about these steels, it's just a blind study, you'd be like, I don't know, this one seemed to get sharper and it seemed to cut longer. And then we reveal that, well, that one's S30V and that one's SPY27. It's like, what the fuck? How could that be? Technically, the S30V should cut longer. It just goes to show some of the finer details of things that are expressed anecdotally in real world use. So controlled testing is important. And then it's also important to get testing from actual people just using the shit at their level of sharpening experience, and just there's always some little caveat for things. And so to answer the question, I think SPY27 has a good future. So that's my answer to that. Oh, motherfucker. Let me read all these goddamn comments here. Oh, man. I'm trying to catch up on the comments. Like, you motherfuckers get me on these rants. Hold up. How much do you think how many knives do you usually make a month? I don't talk about that shit. I just try to make what I make. Sometimes I'm working, like I was telling my wife, like, honey, I'm trying to do new things every time. I'm trying to get these guys tapered tanks. I'm trying to get these guys shit they've never seen before. I'm trying to show these guys where the limits are with shit. And so if I was just making knives and I can keep my head down and just make the same thing over and over again, I could make way more knives a month. But if I'm always trying to like break barriers to shit, then it's gonna slow me down. So making that 15V chef knife, how many fucking 15V chef knives have I made before? I haven't made any. So fuck, man. I've done a lot of testing with it. You can't be like, oh, I got you, you little bitch. You haven't made a fucking, that's gonna be a piece of shit. Ha ha ha. It's like, no. I mean, I did a lot of work with the testing of that, and which, by the way, most makers don't test shit, despite what they say. Oh, well, according to my testing, it's like, share your testing, then, bitch. They don't test it. They just say that. Every knife maker just says, according to my testing. They don't have any testing to share with you. It's all bullshit. It's all anecdotal. So fuck off. But yeah, it just slows you down when you're always trying to like push stuff. If you just want to do the same thing over and over again, you can repeat that. You can get the volume up. So I don't know if that was the spirit of your question, but what about sending a bushcraft knife to DBK guys for testing stuff? They make some custom knife guys really famous. I don't know. I don't really have a problem of like, man, I wish people would buy my work. I have a problem of, fuck, I need to get this work done so I can sell it. So I'm not really worried about necessarily sending to them. But Martin and Mickey, they're special to me because we all kind of started YouTube about the same time. And we all kind of started making the same videos where we were just talking about how we like falcon evens and waterstone sharpening. And then they kind of found a really cool format which worked for them, which is they were just kind of being themselves and they were being goofy and talking about stuff and being able to like talk about stuff in a much wider, being able to cast a much wider funnel for stuff. And so for them, they were able to reach a much bigger audience and they just blew up overnight. So there's a special connection with them because I feel like, you know, well, I've known them for a long time. I knew them as we were at the same level, and then they just blew the fuck up, and I'm just over here doing the same fucking shit. But, you know, Martin and Mickey, they're really cool because, you know, they're super goofy. People are like, oh, fuck these guys. Oh, fuck. You know, they're very passionate about knives. They found a format that really works well for them and it really reaches out to a wider audience. You can't deny the beauty of them being able to reach out to people that maybe thought knives were dumb or goofy or this and that. And so they're kind of forced to talk about stuff in a very simplistic way. I know that they would love to geek out more, but they have to talk about stuff in a certain way to really reach out and make stuff entertaining and digestible to people. And I feel like that's where channels like this come in, where I'm not worried about being the biggest YouTuber. I'm just worried about just talking from my heart and stuff I'm interested in my journey for learning. And you have other channels out there that are, you know, able to reach out to people at a much wider audience. But I'm not necessarily concerned with getting a knife to them to get fucking famous. Oh my God. Like, I just, I have to just try to keep up with everything and get the knives done and sold for money. I think that it's really easy when you're in this position I'm in to just like, I would love to make the knives for free. I would love to just do nothing but make knives and send them to YouTubers and be like, oh, check this shit out. And they'd be like, oh, this is cool. But that's not paying my bill. You know, how the fuck am I going to get the next knife done? It costs money to make it. I think that's the difficult thing. When you're a maker, people just think that like when you make the knife, well, you know how to make knives, so it's free for you to make it, and then you sell it and you make money. Well, the thing is like everything costs money and materials, and some of these materials cost more than you would ever spend for a knife. Most people won't even spend more than $100 for a knife. You're spending that much as a custom knife maker just to fucking get some of the materials, let alone just the abrasives and the consumables to make that piece of shit. So when you see a knife for $1,000, it's not like, oh man, this motherfucker's rolling in the money. Like, most of that money goes to fucking making the shit and then the consumables, let alone the time it takes to make that shit. So it's a really kind of difficult position where you're like, you're kind of stuck living from knife to knife until you can get more efficient with your process or charge more. Like, you're just kind of fucking stuck. So it's, you know, making a knife and sending it out to get famous. Like, I'm not really worried about that. I just got to make the knives and finish them and get them sold so I can make the stuff I want to make next. So, yeah, man, I'm getting to your comments. Just keep putting them in there. Fuck off. Don't get offended. I'm getting to it. I'm reading some of these. I can't help but to read them as I'm scrolling up them, but I gotta be systematic about this. Speaking of cheap ways to cut steel, have you ever experienced with diamond lapping films? I use them to polish ceramic optics. You think it's possible for submicron films for strapping? I think so. I think it depends on how consistent it's gonna finish. I think at the end of the day, there's some complex features with how stuff wears on each other. It's not just about the particle size, but you know, depending on what kind of backing you put something on or what kind of bonding you're holding the abrasive in, it will change how that abrasive interfaces with what you're trying to interact with. And so I don't think it's necessarily a size thing with like, oh, we have the submicron film. This is what we're looking for. Uh, it's a little more complex than that. And to be honest, right now with sharpening stuff, it seems to me like it's like you have to go ahead and test it, and then it's like, this is working, this isn't working. And then you're even surprised yourself sometimes. And on my point of view, it's like, damn, I thought this would fucking work good. Why? I don't know why it's not working good. All I know is it's not. Hey man, mid-tech knives? Sure. I mean, I don't really have the big money laying around to invest into that, but I think mid-tech knives would be fucking sweet in the future. I'd do a different brand or something. That's why my company name is Triple B Handmade. If I ever decided to do mid-tech, I'd change it to something else. So, Brandon Lopez says, good morning. Thanks for another live feed. I was looking forward to it. The quality that comes from the golden factory is always solid from my experience as well. Yeah, man. Please don't retire this one until I can fully see it. Thanks a lot. Yeah, man. I'll try not to retire this one. You know, I don't know. I just wake up, I sober up, and I'm just like, no, fucking share this shit. PM2 no bueno for big hands. I like the EDC military. Military is cool. You know, I don't know. Just not everybody's into that knife, and yeah, the tip down only carry is kind of a bummer. PM2s were basically gone for over a year. It was nuts. Yeah, that shit was insane. Anybody who's been around this world for a long time, or at least a decent amount of time, knows that there was a time you couldn't get this knife. Now it's everywhere. Now people are like, I'm bored of the PM2. And it's like, nah, man, this shit, there was a time you couldn't get it. Golden, Colorado just rules right off the tongue. Yeah, it does, man. USA Spyderco, Triple B collab, it's worth waiting. Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. You guys wait for that shit. You guys show me. And you guys support this shit. You guys let them know we want to see this kind of shit, okay? Let them know because they are watching, they are listening for when you guys with your money, if you support the shit, you let them know you like seeing stuff like that. So, that's really important. Come out to Cali anytime and pound some Russian Imperial Stout beers with me. Fuck yeah, dude, I will, man. Don't tempt me. Thank you for the amazing response. I wasn't aware of the situation versus aesthetic. Yeah, it fucking sucks ass sometimes you have to make decisions like that, Matt. I mean, it's just like, fuck, dude. I don't want to have to make decisions like that, but it's like, the fuck, I have to make it. Like, so it's like there's some different complications. Hey, man. Just want to say you're very passionate. I have learned so much from you all these years. I can't believe I first found you from the Triple B old podcast. Thank you, man. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Thanks for letting me know, man. Samval says, yo. Plug and play scales with removable hardware, 80% ground knives, and you'll get better margin. So final grain that most people want. People pay hundreds for a regrind. That's right, man. You know, that shit. The final details. Listen, like, I have knives. I have unfinished knives. Like, look at that. It's rust on. This is 15V 67 Rockwell. Taper tang. It's not finished. But how much money was put in just to make this rusted piece of shit? Now, when you see the 15V knife, it's like finished. How much money does it cost to take this piece of shit to this? You know what I mean? It costs me a lot more money. It's pretty cheap if I just make it like this, but it's not. People are, oh, fucking make me that shit. Make me that shit. And it's like, no. It's raw material to make this. So yeah, I mean it's the hardest thing in knife making is finishing the knife. Not as in like completion, not as it's hard to complete the knife. No, dumbass. It's hard to get the fit and finish right. I'm always trying to learn how to do that. I'm not perfect at this shit. It's handmade shit. It's not going to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. That's what Travis Wirtz said. He was like, there's no such thing as perfect. You're going to spend way too much time chasing perfect. Doesn't mean you got to be a lazy piece of fuck and make this rusted piece of shit. But, you know, you have to be consistent, and you have to do your best, your personal best. And how many of us can actually say we've done our personal best at anything? You know, most of us, we're scared to, because we're afraid that we'll do our best at something and it's not good enough. So it's tough, man. It's tough. Absolutely loving it. Are you still using the Harangi axes? I don't know if I'm saying that right, by the way. And what do you think about taking the 3 kilogram and putting on a 25 degree on it to make it a better splitter for eastern oak and hickory? I don't know. I don't know. I think when it comes to splitting, yeah, you can put the 25 degree and stuff on there. Really, with the splitting, it comes down to doing that Tom Clark flick, where it needs to have a sharp apex and well blended, but you need to come in when you come in to split the wood, you flick it at the end. You don't just let go, bam, because it's gonna stick. So you gotta flick it. Yeah, Magna Cut is dope. We will be soon loving it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, man. And you don't need me for that. I think a lot of people think that, like, oh, Sean, you're just typing the Magna Cut because you want to make money or something, or you want to just sell your knives in it. I've promoted other people's knives, Chris Reeve, Big Chris, all those guys. Magna Cut's the future, man. It's the future of steel design moving forward. That's just the direction this industry needs to go because you're all gonna enjoy it. Anecdotally, you're just gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be like, cuts better, sharpens better. I use mine all the time. Don't need to do that. 3 kilogram axes are for splitting, and they are ground that way to handle that type of use. Seth is dropping some knowledge bombs in here about axes. I use my 2.75 kilogram felling axe for splitting that kind of wood. I hope that's helpful. And yeah, hopefully it is. Seth is very passionate about axes. Hey Seth, my 2.75, it sticks very badly. I end up using my, it's German, help me. I'm not going to pronounce this right. Ossenkopf, big ox a lot. And it's wearing it. It's a flick. It's a flick, Matt. You gotta flick it. Thanks for the answer. I feel like some issues are more with the width rather than that. More thin bitted splitting axes, like big ox, have less surface, so it sticks less in the rat. Yeah, Seth is very knowledgeable. What do you think about CRKT with Magna Cut? Will they now ditch the S35VN as is considered a more common steel these days? I think that the only thing that we can guarantee in life is change. And I think that everything is always changing. And S35VN, I think in the future, 5 years from now, do we see that as being the most prominent steel? I don't think so. And I see Magna Cut really taking its place with the added benefit of giving the end user more performance. So I see not CRKT, Chris Reeve knives, I see them using Magna Cut exclusively in the next 5 years, which is good for everybody. It's good for them. It's good for you. I'm not sure what I'm asking. I fully agree with the blind test. Surely will be bringing some interesting results. It would be very interesting to see. Yeah, I agree, man. I think that'd be really cool. Sorry, I didn't make that clear. Seth is talking to somebody about axes here. Saying that my experience with splitting axes is more like the big axes, less wide. Bit stick. Is that also your experience? Patrick says, oh yeah, I'm awake for a reason. These guys are getting into it with the axes. I love it. When are super vitrified diamond stones going to be available again? The estimated time of arrival should be late fall, into fall. Okay, so right now I haven't announced it yet. We've been basically to be announced, which means there's no date. And I have a wait list on triplebhandmade.com. You go in there and you see the super vitrified stone grit you want, and you say email list, add to wait list. You give your email, you say, I want this shit. Please do that. That lets me know. Now, this next batch should be late fall, into fall. That's the idea. Okay? So if you're on that email list, you'll be the first person notified when the stones come back in stock. Because I'll go in there, I'll go to the email list, on the wait list, and I'll say, hey, all these motherfuckers want a stone. I have them. Boom, I press the button. You guys get notified. You buy them. You get the stone. You don't miss out. So into fall, sign up for the wait list if you want the stone. Yeah, Flick Method 2. Will the collab be in Magna Cut? I don't know. I was thinking maybe 15V, but let's not make any promises. It's gonna be a little bit of a way out. But I think 15V is, personally, I like 15V a lot. Magna Cut's cool though. I think Magna Cut's a great skill. Great steel. Just started using Veneve resin bonded diamond stones on the TS Prof Cadet. Blown away by the results compared to ceramic spatico stones in my knives. Yeah, dude, it makes a fucking difference. The small little features on the harder abrasive with the harder hard face particles inside the steel, it makes a big difference. Don't listen to anybody who says otherwise. A lot of people like me would love to hand polish the knife and shape the handle so they can get the knife from you. If I can get a ghost grind, that would be ghost grind, awesome steel, your great heat treat and design. They say that, but my problem is also like, I have somebody and they're like, dude, check it out. I got this knife from Triple B Handmade. Got the fucking doo-doo rust and shit on there. And they're like, oh, this is the fucking greatest knife I've ever had. And then other people look at that knife and they say, dude, that knife looks like a piece of shit. So, you know, there's some other factors involved with custom knife making where, like, you got to make it look fucking cool, man. And I can't always rely on people to get, you know, at the end of the day, just if it cuts, it's fine for most people, you know, that are geeked out on that stuff. But like I said, 100% of the 90% of the work comes from finishing the knife and making it look cool. That takes a lot of effort. Uh, you know, it's not much effort to make it look like this, which looks like shit. So I don't know. You don't want to tarnish your brand and your name by making doo doo knives. You know, this knife will still cut stuff. It's still got the cool heat treat. Geometry needs to be fine tuned. You know, it needs to be sharpened. All that stuff. It got the doo doo rust on there, the rough grinds, the taper, the heat treat, the steel. So you say you're like, oh man, I wouldn't mind, but you know, I mind. So that's the problem. So it hurts the brand. That's the problem. Because people are like, Triple B Hammer, he makes that doo-doo knife. He make the fucking doo-doo knife, the doo-doo rust knife. Look like shit. I'm not paying that much money for that. Your shirt dried up. Time to pound another one. Fuck yeah. Just started. Okay. A lot of people like me. Blah blah blah. Catching up. You have a brain. You know that the Magna Cut is the future. Anyone that is into sharpening should be excited. Fuck yeah, dude. Yo, just caught up at 2x speed again. Stoked that the Spyderco collab is going to be a folder. I didn't know that. Finally pulled the trigger on a Dura K390. Not too shabby so far. Put your fucking edge on it and sharpen it, dude. It should be sick. My Magna Cut shirt is fucking dry. My beer cup is fucking full. You gotta get a comment? Anybody want to see me fucking pound this beer? Huh? Any you fucks drinking beers? Huh? Goddamn. What the fuck are my people in my comments? Nothing. Do it! Yeah! Number one. Woo! Fuck you. Brost, or whatever you alcoholics say. maybe a totally new name for an 80% knife, 15V on the collaboration Magna Cut would be great, but a bunch of people would make knives in Magna Cut. The thing is right now, at this moment in time, there's like everybody wants to try Magna Cut. They never got a chance to try it yet. And it's like, dude, what the fuck is a steel like? Where are the Magna Cut knives at? Come here. Just fucking come here. In 5 years, there's no shortage of Magna Cut. It will be everywhere. People will be like, Magna Cut is boring. And it's like, what the fuck? Because everybody's going to be using this stuff. It is the paradigm shift in the whole knife industry. This is a steel that does everything we want. Embrace it. Embrace it. So, my big problem too is like in my head, I'm like thinking to myself, like I make a knife, I make knives handmade. I have to charge a lot of money for them. So somebody is going to get the impression that Magna Cut's going to be crazy expensive when you can go buy a production knife in Magna Cut. It'll be like, you know, $150, $200. It's not going to be like, oh, this fucking Magna Cut. Oh, Sean's charged. The Magna Cut's too expensive. It's too expensive. It's expensive because I'm making it by hand, motherfucker. Like, you can go buy a production knife in Magna Cut at 62, 63, which is where that's what it's designed for. Now I have a knife. Oh, this is the hardest Magna Cut. Look at it, it's all covered in shit. I haven't cleaned it. I need to clean the knife. It's so embarrassing. This is why I delete these live feeds, because I show embarrassing shit like this. This is CPM Magna Cut. Fuck, I need to wipe. I'm so embarrassed. You know, I work so hard for this shit. And then showing off shit that looks like shit. God damn. Fuck you guys, make me fucking get all drunk and show off shit. This is CPM Magna Cut in the Sport Trapper with the taper, all that shit. As of this video, this is the hardest Magna Cut on the planet Earth right now. This is the hardest Magna Cut on the planet. As soon as you say that, there's just people that are like watching that are like, "Fuck you, fuck you. I'm gonna get fucking harder than you. I'll get fucking harder. Fuck you, Sean." This one's at 65.5. Okay, not quite 66, right? I just, it's like, oh, you can't get 66. What are you, a pussy? You know, it's not about that. You know, it's not about. You can chase the highest hardness possible in the HRC. It's not going to perform the best. You know what I mean? It's not about that. This one is 65.5. Now, can I consistently do that? Probably not. If I'm honest, I mean, it seems like the Magna Cut, from all the Magna Cut I've heat treated and trying to max out, like it's like fuck. It's like consistently, I could probably get this shit like 64.5. 64 to 64.5, 65 dead even, 65.5. This one's a fluke, you know. And I averaged the fuck out of it. I was like, oh, that's very curious. Oh, that's very curious. You know, I switched up some of the tempering and stuff like that and the awesomatizing hold times, but it was like, oh, that's fucking cool. 65.5. This is the hardest fucking Magna Cut that exists right now, in the moment of this video, right now filming. Don't bullshit me. Anybody out there, technically I got it. No. At the time of this live feed, this is the hardest Magna Cut available. Is it the toughest Magna Cut available? It's 65.5 Rockwell, you goddamn. I gotta fucking repeat myself, right? So the idea with going this hard with this material is not to necessarily increase the pure wear resistance of it, because you only have so much carbide volume. It's not like when you go up to 65.5 versus 64.5 that you're increasing carbide volume. Your carbide volume is kind of fixed and being reduced a little bit, but it doesn't really change because a lot of these like niobium and vanadium carbides are not really dissolving at higher temperatures, etc. But the idea is that you're getting a little bit more strength. You're trying to push strength when you're going higher in hardness, especially with a steel like Magna Cut. So the idea with this 65.5 is you're reducing ductility, but you're trying to increase the yield strength. So you have more elasticity, even though the slope of your modulus isn't changing. You're getting more elasticity, more weight can be applied before it yields. And yeah, we got this motherfucker thin. This one isn't gonna chop a nail. It's not gonna do it. I showed a video where I was chopping a nail. This one, not gonna work. I thinned it out. It's hand sanded. It's thin. Yeah, man. So the idea with Magna Cut is I can make a nail chopping knife. That's not insane. I have a nail chopping knife at 62.4 Rockwell. I got this one. This is a laser knife. This one's at 65.5. So clean this blade up. I did the hard work hand sanding, doing the rough hand sanding. I clean it up. It was sitting around the fucking shops all gunked up and shit. You gotta clean it up. You know, we always try to look, everything's about looking cool. There's shit on the blade and stuff. It's etched. We got the taper. All the hard work is done, right? We just have to do the finishing work on this one. This is 65.5. At the time of this video, this is the hardest Magna Cut you can get. This one knife. Just one knife. One knife. Consistently, Magna Cut's like 64.5. New batch coming out here in the next couple months. Probably get a little harder. It has a little bit more nitrogen. Fuck yeah. And probably get that one consistently more to 65. So I'm fucking stoked. If I can get a piece of it. I mean, it's tough. Right now, the problem with Magna Cut right now is that all the big manufacturers are like, I'll take 20 sheets of Magna Cut. Meanwhile, a poor ass custom knife maker like me is like, can I get a 36-inch strip, 1.5 inch width of Magna Cut? And they're like, what? Fuck you. We have to cut that shit for you, bitch? And you're only going to buy like 36 inches by 1.5 inches? Fuck you, you know? So all the big dogs, they're buying this stuff up. You know, they're going to get this stuff out to you guys. Right on. You guys are going to get your Magna Cut fix. You don't have to get your fix. I'm making the fucking knives by hand, goddammit. How many knives can I make in my goddamn day? You know, when you're trying to push this shit. and try to push the limit of what you could do. Fuck. God, understand it. Please. Fucking understand me. It's frustrating. I get frustrated. So, I'm stoked. I'm fucking stoked. Am I coming off the stoked right now? Bear Claw Knives is a good sub brand. Trapper design or something. It's gonna be like a folding trapper for the collab knife. I'm fucking out of beer. I'm getting fucking faded as fuck. I'm feeling fucking good. I'm feeling fucking good. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about anything. Woo. You bitches watching this live feed need to be drinking more. Oh shit. Oh shit. I need more beer. We're out of fucking beer. What do you think about the new wave of guys like myself that are getting into polished cladded knives? Pretty cool. No, you need the maximum carbide volume possible, motherfucker. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's probably getting the fucking. I'm way too fucking drunk to keep this shit. I just ruined the whole live feed. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Fucking. Cause dude, I just see, I'm kind of uptight. I'm like kind of serious. I know there's just people out there that just fucking hate me, and I hate having shit like this up on the internet for people to just fucking make fun. Dude, when you're a fucking artist, you're like sensitive as fuck. You fucking hate that shit. It's like, fuck you. Fuck everybody. I don't share this. Nobody pays me for this shit. Fuck off. Actually, I do have a Patreon. I appreciate you guys supporting the Patreon for this shit. You do pay for this shit. I need to keep it. I'll probably keep this one up. Do what you want, bro. Design a knife while drunk. See how rad the alcohol can influence your design. Yeah, dude, for real. I haven't done that actually. I know some of my designs, they look like fucking crazy as shit. It looks like I designed them while drunk, but I've never actually designed a knife while drunk actually. So, I haven't done that. That's an interesting idea. I haven't tried that yet. Do you have a link? Well, the reason why you don't pass the link for the Patreon is because you're like, please, sir, alms for the poor. But this beer was actually provided by somebody. The reason why I'm drinking, why I even have these drunk feeds, because honestly, like I just take all the money I have, it just goes towards the knife making stuff and just food and feeding myself and the electricity and all that shit. But the reason why you guys all have drunk feeds with me just getting fucking wasted live on the internet, embarrassing myself, is because a guy named Zach Hurrick, who's a customer, he bought a bunch of cool custom knives from me. He got me signed up on a beer subscription where I get every month they send me beer to drink. And so it's like, fuck, I got beer? I better do a fucking live feed. This beer's gonna like just pile up in my fridge. I better do something with it. What am I gonna do with all this beer? Oh fuck! I know what I'll do with all this beer. I'll do a fucking knife. So he's a pretty smart guy. He sent me all this beer and stuff. We gotta make him. We gotta make him. Listen, guys. We gotta make this guy. We gotta make this Zach guy a knife. We owe this guy a knife. We owe him the best. You know, we owe Zach the best knife. Zach brings the beer. You send me the beer. I owe you the best. I'm simple like that. You send me beer. Fuck. I owe you a knife. You know, so we gotta get Zach a cool knife. Appreciate the fucking beer. Getting fucking faded. Love that shit. You sent me all the I'm not even a big IPA fan. But, whatever. Look at this shit. 7.5 alcohol content. We're not drinking Mike's Hard Lemonade over here, boys. We're not drinking your mom's wine cooler over here. We're drinking serious beer. All right? We're serious about this shit. We're going to get some more. I'm going to get some more beer. We're 5 beers in. We'll get some more beer. Thank you. Let me see here. Send me the Patreon. I can't send a link while I'm fucking drinking. I don't like to really like to self-promote that stuff because it's like, I just feel like I'm begging for fucking money kind of shit. And I love money. I mean, who doesn't? And so it's like, oh, please feed me. I'm a bitch. And I don't really like to do that shit, but see, I design in my sleep sometimes. I gotta step up to your Patreon. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I wish. Listen, guys, you guys are talking. Oh wow, I didn't know you had a Patreon. I gotta support it. I'm not. I'm ashamed to say I'm not crazy consistent with the content and stuff. A lot of time as a knife maker, you're just like you're in your head all the time and stuff, and you're competitive. You got your own ego you're dealing with. You got stuff you're trying to work on. You don't always feel like sharing everything. So sometimes I'm just not in the mood for doing live feeds and shit. So, and at the same time, to be really creative, a really creative person, you're just not always very consistent with fucking, well, content will be done every week at Monday. Like, who the fuck knows? Like, you're living day to day usually if you're very creative, because kind of some of your creativity is coming from spontaneity, where you're very spontaneous and you're just living and you just have your feeling and grooving. You're just putting shit out. So I'm in a good fucking mood right now. So I was like, live feed, but I'm not always feeling like that. So I don't know. It's like, yeah, go ahead and sign up for my Patreon, this and that. It's like, I can't guarantee shit. I don't know. Maybe 2 weeks from now, I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't want to share shit. So I don't know. I don't want to share no link for shit. Fuck off. What was your favorite part about Blade Show 2021? My favorite part about Blade Show 2021 was going from making knives in my dungeon where there's nobody to now I'm in the environment of everybody who's there with the purpose of they love knives. Now, they may not know everything about knives. They may not be like the best sharpener with knives or, this and that. Anybody who goes to that show loves knives. And I think that my favorite part about Blade Show 2021 was just being surrounded by other humans that love something that I also love. I love different aspects of it, but they also love it. They traveled from all over the country to go to that one spot for that place and time to just express in their way how they loved it. And being there with that energy of these people that are just like loving something, which is the most trivial shit, to be honest. It's a knife. You can go to Fred Meyer, you can go to a store, you can buy a $10 knife out of a blister pack that's made in China, that's a piece of shit. You don't need any crazy ass knife, is what I'm saying. You can go buy the cheapest fucking piece of shit knife and be like, I cut something. Huzzah! You know, what the fuck is a big deal with all your stupid shit, Sean? I can go buy a knife and I can cut something. I don't need you to cut something with my knife, Sean, with all your fucking nerd shit. So it's like, yeah, that's true. But it's like when you're there in the presence of people that are all loving something so passionately that they will spend their finite resources and time to go there at the same place and time to experience and enjoy that in that moment, it's very beautiful, I think. So I think that was my favorite part about Blade Show is that for that one moment, we all went there and we experienced that, never to be experienced again. There's going to be Blade Show 2022, but it's not Blade Show 2021. So that's fucking fascinating when you think about it like that. It makes it even more special when you decide to go to a Blade Show, the pilgrimage, you know. So if you've been on the fence about it, if you're like, I don't understand what the point is, everything's online, this and that. No, it's not all online. It's, you know, really when it comes down to it, it's about people. It's about that connection you have with talking to somebody, and Blade Show is fucking special. You know, to honestly, it's like I feel like after my experience from 2021 Blade Show, I don't exist until 2022 Blade Show. That's how special that shit is. So don't underestimate it, boys. If you've been on the fence about making the pilgrimage, listen, man, make the pilgrimage. Stop fucking around. I'm being real. What are your opinions about 14C28N? I don't give a fuck about that still. I mean, listen, man. Maybe there's some attributes that are better about 14C28N than ABL and Nitro V, etc. But the thing is like how many 14C28N blades are heat treated and ground to maximum geometry and performance, versus if you just had ABL or Nitro V, which is easier for me to get here in America, ground and heat treated to that level of performance, and a steel that's really within the same category and family of steels, where like it's like, dude, whatever is heat treated and ground better is going to perform better, not the name of the steel. So you give a fuck about that steel. I mean, I guess if you're chasing some budget knife or something, then again, there's just, if you're that concerned about it and you're seeking it that hard, you're spending your time to look for that when you could just spend your money, which is what you use with your time to go get something better. So fuck it. That's my opinion, man. IPA is too bitter. Imperial stouts. Yeah, man, you're right, dude. I would drink an Imperial stout. I just have IPAs. I'm in Oregon. Come on, man. Send me a fucking Imperial stout. I'm not scared. I'll drink it, man. I'll drink the stout. That'd be awesome. It's about supporting artists, not content. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, dude. For real. Best answer to Blade Show 2021 question you could have shared. It's all about the love, brother. Yeah, man. Dude, we're out of beer. I gotta go get some more beer, I think. I got some more beer in my fridge. I gotta go clear it out. Let's just drink that shit. Listen, guys, this is great. We're living in the moment right now. This is great, man. I think you should call the new profile the butter knife. Oh, yeah. This is called the new profile the butter. Fuck you! I'm not calling it the butter knife. Fuck off. Actually, that could be kind of fucking meta, right? Where it's like, butter knives are usually dull and shit. It's like a total sleeper. It's like the butter knife. And then it's like, holy shit, I thought you called this the butter knife. Oh my god. If he calls this the butter knife, what are his other designs called? Oh, fuck. Cuts like butter. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm 2 beers away from being just inebriated. Knives awaken our core primitive selves. It is the art and the beauty and the function that is the extension of our possibilities, neither more than function. Dude, thanks, Barry. That's actually a very deep comment. I'm not trying to like talk. I'm not trying to. I know I'm talking like an asshole with your comment. That's very fucking deep, actually. Yeah, man. Think about it. Humans had cutting tools before they had fire. Isn't that fucking crazy? I mean, if you believe in all that stuff, yeah, humans had cutting tools before they had fire. So cutting tools are like, they're not in your DNA. Your body doesn't grow cutting tools. But the fact that there's just something very primitive about like your connection to nature and your fucking existence is with cutting tools. It's not like mitochondria growing in your fucking cell, kind of like your DNA is printing this. Your DNA, it's so connected to your DNA is printing cutting tools. No, but there's just something I feel like that goes back to the most primitive form of human that cutting tools are connected to. And so, like in the future, like in 2021, it's like this is something that got you to here as a human race. Why not take that to the furthest limit possible if it's so important to where you got to where you were? So yeah, it's a cool comment, man. That got me fucking charged up. I love butter. I love knives. Slippery and sharp. Just the way I like it. Wow! You guys' comments are wild, man. I love this shit. Call it the butterface knife, lol. Oh, man, that hurts. As a butterface myself, that cuts deep. It's funny that you say the possibilities. It's funny that you say the possibilities. I was thinking the other day about what that spark is that you get when you see a tool you want. It's possibility. I read that like a total, like an illiterate fuck, but I'm trying. Stay with me, boys. I'm trying to stay within consciousness here. The possibilities are English. Seth, I don't know what I'd do if you weren't joining in these live feeds, man. Your ability to just keep me all fucking into it, Thanks, man. Seth is actually, he's in the sharpening competition, so we have a sharpening competition coming. I talked about this a lot. I talked about this the last live feed. I can barely talk right now. I talked about this the last live feed, but oh fuck. I talked about this the last live feed. I deleted the last live feed, so if nobody knows about it, that's on me. Because I usually delete the live. I just wake up in the morning, and I'm like, I just spilled my guts too much. I don't want to share that with random fucks on the, there's people I don't like out there in the world. Like I don't want to share that shit. But it's like Seth is in the live. He's in the sharpening contest that we have designed. Where we're doing a best sharpening contest. BEST is like an acronym for something. It's basically like the little tester, the best sharpness tester that cuts a string, and the sharper edge cuts a string with a lower weight in grams. And I've always thought that, listen, guys, in the sharpening world, there's just so much like just people all over the place with everything. And we go to these knife shows, and there's all these other competitions about stuff we don't give a fuck about. And I think that, listen, dudes, for real. I mean, listen, hear me out here. This is like from my fucking heart, okay? Like, I want to live in a world where we are actually like testing things we fucking care about that we know matters. Not like, I don't mean to break anybody's fucking balls here, but the best fixed blade that won at Blade Show was like a knife that couldn't cut anything. It was ground so fucking thick, there was no edge on it. It couldn't cut anything. Now, that's not to marginalize the work that motherfucker put into that shit. That's not to say that, like, wow, like, oh, you think you're so fucking good, Sean? Why don't you make that knife then? Like the knife he made was like exceptional. It was one of the most beautiful looking knives ever. But it's a knife. What's the point of it if it's not going to cut anything? It don't got no edge on it, for the sake of beauty. And I think that this best sharpness competition that I want to start up here, we got three people. We got David, Paul, and Seth, three contestants. Why do you only have free contestants? Fuck you. It's free. It's free for these contestants. It costs me money to do it. It costs my time, my fucking energy, my belts, my fucking effort, my name on the line to run the competition. But I've kind of learned something over these past couple Blade shows that if you want to see something get done to affect change in the community, you need a knowledgeable motherfucker to run it. You can't be competing in something you want to see. You need to be regulating it. You need to be running it. I want to compete in the fucking sharpness competition. But we're not in a place right now as a knife community to rely on other people to run something like that. You need somebody that knows their shit to run something like that so that there's nothing that falls to the cracks with it. That the spirit of the competition is to see the sharpest edge win. And so we're going to try for this. We're going to do the preliminary. We have 3 knives. They're in a mystery steel. I know what the steel is. I say that, and it's like, you don't know what the steel is? I know what the fucking steel is. But we don't want any bias affected by these sharpeners. We want to give these guys, listen, hear me out. This is fucking unique. This is nothing like this has ever been done before. We have 3 knives that are ground insanely thin. There's no edge that's been put on them. Unknown steel. It's been heat treated properly. I fucking made them. Come on, motherfuckers. Believe in me. Trust me. We're going to send them to these 3 different sharpeners. We have sharpeners that are doing freehand, sharpeners that believe in the dogma of fixed system. We have sharpeners that are kind of like, they're just very highly enthusiastic about sharpening, whether freehand or system. And we are going to get these out to these people, same hardness, same geometry, no edge. They put the edge on these knives. They send them back to me. We do a live video testing the edges. Hear me out though. The best sharpness system, okay, is not the end-all be-all of all realms of edge performance. But you have to think about how this machine works. You are essentially pressing an apex through very fine fiber optic cable, okay, like a cord, like a string, okay? And whatever shears that with cleavage, displacing it the best with the lowest amount of weight wins. Now, as we all know, there's different kinds of things we cut with our knives. So with the best testing, the lowest number is not always superior. But for the sake of the sport of this test we are doing, we are taking into the factor that these people understand sharpening at a very deep and intimate level to understand what is needed to cleave and separate this little tiny string with the lowest amount of weight in grams possible. This is a good sport. This is the future of sharpening sport. And I think that this is going to be fucking amazing. And we are giving these people a level playing field to express the truest form of sharpening and what they take and understand as what is the ability to cleave and displace this piece of string with the lowest amount of weight possible. I think it's beautiful. It's not necessarily like, well, I want that edge on my knife. Not necessarily. But for the sake of sport, we have to narrow down the parameters of what we're looking for to a very small area so that we are having a nice playing field for people to compete and for the sake of sport, to express and see things. You don't look at Formula One race cars and say to yourself, wow, I want to drive that to the fucking grocery store. No, you fucking don't, because it's kind of a piece of shit for that. It gets bad gas mileage. The ride's really bumpy. There's no place to put your fucking groceries. So no, you don't want that shit. But for the sake of how fast can a motherfucker and a human get into a car and drive and compete against other humans that also have fast fucking cars? Can they go around this loopy loop track and get the fucking fastest time to fucking drive through traffic and beat these motherfuckers? So come on. Come on. Think. Think, you fuck. Everybody's so fucking surface level with all this shit. Think deeply about this stuff. Think about, get with me here. Think about this stuff. This is fucking serious, man. So this is big. It's surface level. This is like some goofy nerd shit, but deeper level, this is like, where can this go for advancing? For advancing, listen, the world around us, we are like limited with what we can like touch and feel and see, because everything is like, everything is translated through your mind, which is like subjective, right? The reality of things kind of eludes us as humans because everything we look at, I'm not actually seeing this. It's subjectively interpreted through my brain, through the, the back part and all that stuff. It's like, hey, boop, boop, boop. So the closer you can get with like objectively testing stuff with numbers and things like that, the closer you can get to the true reality of things, not just what you're limited to with your subconscious, but what's actually in front of you. So that's the beauty of this sharpening competition and why I'm so excited about it. And it's very small. We only have 3 blades. We have 3 contestants. But the possibilities of this and where it can go is very beautiful as far as like what we can see in the future, and we'll keep these 3 contestants, I think, if God willing, if they're willing to stick with this shit. We can see differences between things that we haven't been able to see before. That's more, kind of not only empirical, but, a little more or less biased because they don't know what the steel is. They're sharpening it however they think is the sharpest for displacing and cleaving this little string to get the lowest amount of weight. So whether they feel like it's this or that, it's not just surface level shit where they're like, whoa, the finest grit should do that. It's whatever is shaping the fucking apex the finest radius possible, regardless of the grit size of the fucking thing or the, you know what I mean? Because there's so many factors beyond just grit size that people need to understand. Rather than me explaining shit to everybody, why not have a competition that shows us the reality of things? And I think that this is incredibly beautiful from a standpoint of advancing where we want to go for the highest level of edge performance possible. Without competition, just breeds excellence. And if there's no competition for something, you don't know where it can go. So I think that in the knife world, it's a fucking shame we don't have this kind of competition for sharpness. We have competitions for all kinds of things. We have competitions for the most beautiful looking knife. The best knife of Blade Show 2021 was the most beautiful looking knife. The most craftsmanship, metal art. Where the fuck is the performance art? Where is the stuff that we want to, us knife geeks, people that watch this channel want to see? That's where we want, I think, to see the future of knife things that we're interested in. It's fucking, isn't it kind of shitty that you guys, 18 of you that are still in this live feed right now, you guys have to watch some dude drink beers in a fucking Magna Cut t-shirt in his fucking house, talk about this shit. There's no like actual big production thing that's talking about the finer details of this stuff. You have to listen to this crazy guy getting fucking wasted. Like, come on, man. It's pathetic. Like, we want to see more of this stuff. We don't just want to see it from some crazy guy wearing a Man the Cut t-shirt getting wasted, right? Come on, man. Come on. Hey, come on, man. Catch up on some comments. I drink another beer and we'll call it soon here. Ooh, yeah. I'm catching up on comments here. I got on a rant here. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. What do we got here? What do we got here? So many are not connected to their primal selves, and knives that awaken that. And they savage. They can be savage as life or death, and we carry it every day. It reminds us that we're still alive in the jungle. Fuck yeah, dude. I connect with that. Don't apologize for being a steel and knife nerd.
We call them artisans like the ancient Japanese bladesmiths and traditions that span eons. It is a proud trade. Fuck yeah, dude. Barry, you're getting me all fucking charged up and shit, dude. God damn. We're drinking more beers because of Barry. If the reason why this live feed is going longer, it's because of Barry. Comments get me all fucking. Rest of y'all limp dick, fucking. Like fucking Barry is just like. Get me all fucking jacked up. When I want a reminder that we still live in the jungle, I just read the news. Yeah, shit's fucking wild. I don't even pay attention to that negative shit. I thought you were gonna complete. I thought you were gonna compete and show low grade superiority. No, no. I mean, you need somebody that knows their shit to run the shit. You can't have like, oh, I'm gonna have some other guy run the stuff and I'm gonna compete with everybody. You need to have somebody who knows their shit run the competition so that there's faith that the competition is fair and that it is a good evaluation of people's sportsmanship and skill and their ability. You can't have it run by a fool because otherwise the reason why you didn't win or wasn't a fair evaluation was because the person who was evaluating stuff was a fucking idiot. So you need to have somebody who knows their shit run the shit. Will you ever enter a blade sport competition? I'd love to see you go. Fuck yeah, I'd love to, dude. I'd love to get into a blade sport. Listen, but those guys, I mean, they've been doing it for a while. There's a lot of just because you know a bunch of stuff doesn't. You have to practice. You have to get the skills up. Be fucking humble. It's not about like you're the heat treat geometry master. Blah, blah, blah. I haven't really done any of the competitive shit, but I'd love to in the future. I think that blade sports is really fucking cool, but I think it would be really cool to have kind of like an offshoot of like thin blades that are really sharp and like a competition of that or edge retention tests and stuff. That'd be really cool. Pure edge retention tests of cutting rope. But blade sports is also another like facet of that because the goal is to see the highest expression of knife edge performance and cutting performance possible. I think that'd be really fucking cool. So much gratitude. Thank you for putting this together, Sean. I can tell you how stoked I am. You better bring your fucking A game, asshole. I don't care how stoked you are. Just bring your fucking A game. I think I should send you Dragon's Milk Imperial Stout. It is a good bourbon barrel aged stout. Dude. You really want to see me that fucked up though? I mean, 13%? I would love to see. I like I like it when you're like all your beers in the live feed because you have just like only the true believers are left at this point when you have like a live feed going late at night and you're like 3 hours in or whatnot. It's just like, dude, only the homies have lasted this long. It's tight, yeah, dude. I'm trying to read the comments. The text is so funny. It keeps making me laugh. I would love to see what I call the cardboard crusader. That is a decent folder, but whose usual cut package is low. It is thin and ground full flat ground. Don't I make that motherfucker? Cardboard crusader. I'm literally wearing my Fresh Mavica t-shirt and getting wasted. Dude, fuck, I need to go get some more beers out of the fridge. That's so fucking badass. Oh man, I need to get more beer on my Magna Cut t-shirt. Magna Cut! That's so tight, dude. Hell yeah. The name is a joke name, like a Simpson crank call name. If you read the whole name, the Cardboard Crusader. I just noticed that. Legend. Nah, Blade Sports, you should kick ass. Axe, dude, that's a transferable skill. Fuck yeah, dude. Well, I'm just trying to say you gotta train hard if you're gonna try to get competition's competition. It's not about who you think you are, where you come from. Who the fuck cares about all that stuff? You want to compete, you compete. You get in there, you work hard, you train. Who the fuck cares what you think you know or what you've done? Do it. Compete. And I would love to do the blade sports shit. I think that'd be fucking awesome. My daughter is sick, so she is keeping me up. This is a treat. Fuck yeah! Man, it's 5 a.m. here. Knife autism is dude. I'm about to get some more fucking beer. You guys are getting me all charged up. I'm about to piss myself. My bladder is so full. I've been drinking so many fucking beers. You guys got me full knife autism. Carbon in solution. Carbon in solution. This is so tight. He would dominate. I don't. Who the fuck knows who would dominate? You got to compete. You got to train hard. You got to work hard. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. There's no guarantees. Maybe I do the first blade sports. I lose. I go with my tail, but I go with my tail between my legs, kind of shit. But you know what? You learn more from. Listen, this is some life advice shit for some of you guys in here. You learn more from your failures in life than you do from when you win. All right. So if you win everything at life, if you're always just super badass at everything in your life, you're not learning. You learn more from the times when you lose, when you give it your best. And as James Ingram says in his fucking song, you probably heard at the goddamn grocery store, I guess your best wasn't good enough. Yeah, it's a cheesy shit song you hear late at night at the grocery store, but guess what? That's some deep shit because when you try, nobody is even willing to try their best at something that fucking fail. But when you try your best at something and you fail, and fucking tears coming out of your fucking, you fucking crying, dude. You like, you don't want anyone to see you fucking embarrassed, dude. You shame yourself. You just feel so low. You go home and you don't want to do shit. You lay in bed. You don't even want to get up in the morning. You're just like, I tried everything, and I didn't even fucking make it, dude. I suck. Dude, you learn so much from that shit. More than if you were like, wow, my whole life I've been a fucking badass. Listen, if you ever see somebody who seems like they're good at anything, there's often enough a chance that maybe the reason why they got to where they were is because there were some hard fucking times that they went through in their life where they decided to put everything on the line and push themselves and do the best they could, and it still wasn't good enough. And they picked themselves back up instead of being a sad sack of shit and decided, fuck, yeah, maybe I was a sad sack of shit, but now I know what to do better. So, yeah, it's tough, man. I did that. I did that kitchen knife competition at the Blade Show 2019. Fucking lost. I fucking lost. I had the 10V kitchen knife. Fucking lost. That was embarrassing, because I hold myself to like, oh, I'm the master of fucking steel and heat treat and this, fucking badass. I lost. It was tough. I never talked about that. Just was like, no, I don't talk about that shit, but lost. Fuck, that's tough to deal with, but that's life. Would you have rather lost or would you have rather never done it so you could say, I'm so badass? Put yourself out there to lose. Put your ass out there to lose. Put everything on the line and lose and look like an idiot. You're gonna grow so much more from that than you would ever grow from being like, well, I'm never gonna compete because I want to look like a badass in my own head all the time. No. Put yourself out there. Get some tears in your eye. Get some frustration, get some self-doubt, and then self-reflect and think, no, fuck you. Get down the rock bottom and realize who you are and push forward. Lean into the wind, dude. Lean into the fucking wind and get to it. That's competition. That's the spirit of competition. That's why competition is important. That's the spirit of it. That's the root spirit of any competition, no matter what it is. So put yourself out there. Test it. Test your theory and what you think you know. And see if it stands up. And if it doesn't, either reevaluate or come back and perform. Execute. execute or don't. So yeah, it's tough, especially when you've got an image or an ego and you think you're badass. Of course, I got ego. You don't, you can't not have some kind of ego if you're making knives out of 15D. It fucking sucks. It sucks to make knives out of 15. Newsflash, it fucking sucks to make knives out of 15D. It's not fun. It's not the funnest thing I've ever done. If I wanted to make knife making fun, I'd only make knives out of 01 at 57 or 59 Rockwell. That's fun. It's not fun to make knives out of higher hardness. It's not fun. It's not why you do it. Yeah, there's a little bit of ego involved, but at the same time, there's also knowing that like you enjoy what that gives, and you know other people who are geeked out on that shit love that shit. So there you go. We're out of beer. You guys are really getting me all fucking charged up and shit. I'm gonna get some more beer. Go grab some more fucking beer. So let's get some more beer. Let's get some more beer. Maybe even take a piss. I'm about to piss myself. Fucking got all this beer in me. Let's get some more beer. Hang in there. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna go get some more fucking beer. I'm gonna go take a piss. You guys got me all charged up. Ooh. God damn. Ooh. Oh, god damn. Oh, man. Let's see what we got left in the fridge. Oh, fuck. It's pretty much all gone. Shit. Couple of brew, couple of shots, Shelly. Keep them coming. Oh, fuck. Oh, 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 ooh. They're warm. I didn't want to drink them because they're not in the fridge. I was about to, I was like, dude, just whatever's in the fridge, I'm gonna drink tonight, and we'll call it a live feed. You guys got me all charged up. 7.3. These are even more. I probably got one more of these, to be honest. I got shit to do tomorrow. I mean, fuck, guys. You guys got me all charged up, but we got shit to do tomorrow. We can't be so fucking faded. We can't even. Whoever buys this man the cut knife, just know I opened the beer with said man the cut knife. So if you buy this knife in the future, you know that this was the beer that put me over the edge. Yeah! Pour it in quick, make you sick. Ooh. Ooh, man. Okay, that's foaming up. We'll let that settle. Now, this is a new beer. I haven't. They're all IPAs. That's all I get. That's all the IP. You know, this is 7.3%. Let's see what's going on. Let's see how far this fucking live feed can go. I'm not scared. I don't give a fuck. Ooh, missed the comments here. Let me go back and read some of these here comments here. Sadly, I'm on just nicotine patches and not in root beer. Goddamn, son. Ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, feel better. Fuck yeah, man. That's some powerful shit. Hope you feel the pride of someone who is on everyone's radar in the industry. Soon to have a knife collaboration and a rad knife art. Fuck yeah, dude. You know, I hope so. Who the fuck knows what will happen, but if that happens, that's cool. I think that'd be rad. Points to who knows who said that. You know. Shit, yeah, we live in an age where we can just look everything up, you know. I know the feeling of living on the failure edge. What I do is scary every day. A parent and a first responder. Yeah, dude, first responders, dude, fuck. If you're a first responder, thanks, man. You know, that was me in a past life. I did that shit for 8 years. I'm not a first responder anymore, but those of you out there, if you're a first responder and you feel like nobody gives a fuck, we do give a fuck. As a society, we need you. Thank you for taking on that burden to keep us all safe while we sleep at night and shit, to work all those holidays. You don't notice maybe some of the stress being put on you, you know, but it's there, and thank you. No ice cream, sadly. There's always next time to beer it. Maybe the 80% knives would have to be a private thing, no markings. Exactly. Yeah, I'm comfortable doing that if it's a private thing. You know, there's a guy named Josh Kelly. He's fucking badass sharpener. I'll probably send him some like private stuff just to like test it. You know, it's nice to get another sharpener's opinion besides yourself, and he's fucking legit. So that'd be tight. We're going to fry this weekend. Fuck yeah, man. Let's get brain dead. There's a saying that we use when I was climbing a lot when I was younger that I love. Feel upwards. All you can do at times. Dude, that's badass. I've never heard that before. That's a pretty badass saying. Fail upwards. I like that, actually. I'm putting that deep in the brain. Debating on getting a custom bench made with S90V or another custom fixed blade out of LC200N. I love some super steels. Fuck it, dude. Fuck getting a production company knife. Go support a custom knife maker. Go get the LC200N, dude. You know, support the custom knife makers. You know, when you buy that custom knife maker's knife, you're like helping him buy his daughter a bicycle kind of shit. You know, I'm sure Benchmade appreciates it, but there's no shortage of people that will support Benchmade. If you have the option of supporting a custom knife maker, go buy that guy's knife. Go check it out. You know, just know that like there's some human energy that went into that shit. Not just like pressing buttons on a machine. That takes skill, sure, you know, no big deal. Production is production. That's its own fucking thing. That takes skill. I can't do volume. They can do volume. That takes its own skill. But fuck, man, help another human out. Go help out that custom knife maker. Go get the LC200A. If he's doing a good job, if you like his knife, fucking hook him up. Check it out. You're gonna feel so much better about that knife. There's so much more human energy and emotional connection to it because you know that some dumb motherfucker had to sit there and do it by hand and make that blade. So that's my recommendation, bro. I'll take it without the handle, even. Maybe primitive, but could be a knife design name. By the way, I saw you on the Blade Show 2019, and I think you should have done at least the second row. But just have to say, there were no chefs there, and a lack of practice cooking is anyone's weakness. But here's the thing too, dude. I don't like to like fucking bitch and whine about competition stuff because it just makes you sound like a fucking bitch. But there was a dude who was reffing that stupid ass competition who was only regulating on certain people and he wasn't consistent. And here's the fucking thing about that. I think that was just a huge catalyst and trigger for me to understand that moving forward with this sharpening competition, we can't rely on people that aren't consistent, that don't know shit, to regulate any competition ever. And so with this sharpening competition, I'm going to do with the best sharpness competition. It was from learning that you can't trust people who don't know shit to run something. Because if you do, the spirit of the sport of being able to compete is fucking ruined, because it's basically you're only as good as your lowest common denominator. So if we had a sharpening competition that was run by somebody who didn't know fucking anything, then we'd be susceptible to like, this is not the truest expression of the actual sport of getting the sharpest edge possible, because this person running is a fucking idiot. So that really pissed me off, because I felt like this person busted my ass about something he wasn't busting everybody's ass about consistently. He just happened to walk by and catch me about it. And so I didn't get a chance to move forward with that chef knife competition. Fucking pissed me off. Because it's fucking bullshit. It's not consistent. You're not being fucking consistent with everything. You just happen to catch me with it. You're not being consistent with everybody. You just catch me. You single me out about it. So fucking bullshit. Pissed me off. And that just like, that put in me this like kind of just angst. The night of that, I was so fucking just pissed off. This is such bullshit. I was so fucking angry. And just, so moving forward into 2021 with this sharpening competition, I knew that, yeah, I'd like to compete with the sharpening who the fuck wouldn't? Who the fuck wouldn't want to compete in that shit and be like, hey, I have an idea for a sharpening competition, and I want you to run it, and I compete in it. No. You need to have somebody who knows their shit run the competition so we can see the truest expression of that competition for people to compete in, for the sport, for the sake of seeing how far shit can go, not for the sake of fucking satisfying my own ego. Come on, it fucking pissed me off. So that was not to sound like a complainer, but it fucking upset me, man. I didn't like that shit. But whatever, you lose, you lose. I'm a fucking loser, so. Sean would have to call one the caveman. That'd be sweet, dude. I bet a bunch of Japanese chefs and knife makers would love to join the sharpest contest if they can get the word out around the world. Dude, wouldn't that be fucking sweet? So here's the thing. Everything starts small and then it grows big. But it has to be good small and then it grows good big. So that'd be fucking cool. Who wouldn't want to see that geeky shit and then some sort of metric or objective thing to see it? That'd be so rad. I'd love that shit. That'd be dope. Who knows? Maybe we start it and eventually further down the road we pass it off to somebody else, I don't want to. Usually, somebody with my personality type, you like to start things, and then you pass it off to somebody who's more organized. So that'd be cool. What do you think of the paper wheel system? I'm debating on getting a bench grinder or a super vitrified stuff. I don't know, man. It depends on what you're doing. You got 1,000 knives to sharpen in fucking a week, or do you got a couple knives you like and you want to sharpen? Like, I don't know, brother. Paper wheels cause a lot of heat, man. You're generating a lot of heat for that shit. Would be nice to see them sharpen in front of you before you test it, dude. Listen, Matt, man, listen. There's no limit to this kind of shit. You can have where they send it in and they sharpen. If this gets big enough, you can have different categories. You can have basically like, okay, this competition is the sharpen in front competition where everybody has to sharpen a knife in this amount of time and then present it to the judges for best testing, and we see who can get the sharpest knife in this amount of time. That's fucking cool because that puts time pressure on people, and people have to be efficient in their technique to execute. And oh, it's so cool, dude. But we have 3 knives. I have to ship them out to people. It's very esoteric, meaning not many people know or care, kind of thing. You know, the spirit of that word. But it's like, dude, we have to start like from the bottom, and then in the future, maybe it can grow into something cool where it's like at Blade Show, we are doing the sharpness competition. You have to sharpen in front of everybody and then test it, and it's like, dude, that's fucking sweet. You got bally song competitions for Christ's sake. What about the actual knife edge? It's a knife that cuts stuff. What's sharper? Come on, you know. Everything starts small and gets big. Triple B 2021. Yeah, dude, that's tight. But it's very nice to see that competition. But it is very nice to see that competition. I wish you better luck next time. If you try again, but all you need is practice and daily use and better judges, as you said. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, listen, dude. If it was better, if I was better, then I wouldn't have to worry about the judges that I feel like treated me unfair, right? So that's why it comes off as complaining, because a true champion doesn't blame other things for why you didn't win. You win because you're that much. You put in the time and practice, and you win because you're that good. So there's nothing for the judges to get you on. But whatever. Yeah, that's the spirit of it. You lose to learn. If you fail, like this other guy said, the mountain climber phrase, fail upward. Yeah, it's good. Shouldn't marginalize your loss because you were unfairly treated. If you want to be a champion, you look at it as like, what can I do better? So, fuck yeah, dude. If there's another competition, fucking do it. Fuck it. I like that shit. You can only have one grit. Super Rich Rice Stone, what would it be? That's tough, actually. 400 grit. Yeah. Like Matt says, 400 to 1,000 grit. It's between those two, but I think 400 grit makes me the happiest, so I would probably pick that one. Maybe regional sharpness competitions, and you could travel the world and be a judge. Dude, that'd be fucking tight. I mean, who knows how long I could do that before I get bored, though. And, because I like making knives and shit, so that'd be fucking cool, though. You kind of need a more organized brain person, I think, to do that kind of shit. But I could start it and get it, charged up and then be like, this motherfucker's all organized and pass it to him. Where can I score a Magna Cut t-shirt? You can't, bro. They're too fucking cool. If you're a Patreon member on Nice Still Nerds, then he had a link for where to get the Magna Cut t-shirt, and I think he'll put it up publicly, but I think they're on Teespring, T Republic, something like that. Cheers from Galicia. I'm having white wine at 10 a.m. for you. Fuck yeah, dude. Salute. Then have the international competition in your home state. Dude, wouldn't that be so fucking cool? Like if there was like an international sharpness competition and like What if there, you know what I like to think about with the competition thing? What if there's like some dude out there that nobody on social media knows about, and like he comes out of nowhere, he smokes everybody, he smokes me, he smokes everybody, and it's like he changes the world of sharpening because of some weird technique that only he knows about for getting the sharpest edge possible that tests on that media that can somehow advance knife sharpening to like the future. Like, oh fuck, that'd be so cool. That's the kind of like cool possibilities you get with like competition. If it's like if there's enough of it to kind of breed that, that's kind of the beautiful possibilities that competition can breed. Is competition breeds excellence. Have to sharpen and pound a 7.5 brew between, dude. Yeah, fuck those pussies. They gotta drink the beer between that shit. I introduced a t-shirt idea to Laren, but for his Knife Still Nerds logo. He has that one too. I like the Magna Cut logo best, and then it's got the Magna Cut on the back. The Magna Cut guy is pretty tight. Where my soldiers at? Anybody here? Are we gonna pound this shit or what? Where my boys at? Where my boys at? Where you guys at? In the comment section? Where are you? Where my homies? Who's here? Who's drinking beer? Who's got this shit? Where you guys at? We gonna drink this shit or what? What's up? Where are you? We got this? Are we gonna pound this shit? Huh? Right here, let's go. Okay, that's what I like to see. Who else, motherfuckers? Suck 'em up, bro. You want to see this shit, bro? Where are you at? Come on. Come on, where are you? Where the fuck are you? We got this? Are we doing this? Where's my white wine guy? Where's the guy drinking? Where's the guy sucking on white wine at 10 a.m.? I want you pounding that white wine, son. 10-year casket strength is one of my favorites. You ready? I don't care if it's one of your favorites. Are you ready to fucking... Okay, it's probably really fancy beverage. Maybe don't pound it, but pour a little bit. Fucking drink with me, all right? Help me out here. You ready? Prost! Oh man. Oh, that shit's warm. Oh. Oh. That's it. That's all I'm drinking tonight. Fuck y'all. I'm not crawling around the floor. I'm not throwing up tonight. Fuck you. That's it. Gotta let me drink myself to death. How many beers? I'm not even that many beers in, man. I'm like, listen, real talk. I'm 6 beers. I'm 6 beers in. That's it. You know, you guys gotta realize, you know, an average man, this is about your max beers. This is it. I'm not superhuman. I'm Sean. You know, I'm half beer. I'm not full beer. Full beer. I'm half beer. I got about 6 beers. 7% alcohol. It's about my fucking limit, man. It's about my fucking limit. Look, I'm spilling my fucking guts on the internet. You know. Half people on the internet, maybe I don't even like half the people on the internet. And this is out for everybody. You only got 24 people in. You leave the live feed up, it's out there for everybody. You know, you fucking leave the live feed on somebody 2 years later. Oh, fucking, I don't agree with what you're saying in this fucking live feed. And you're like, dude, that was like fucking 2 years ago. I put that. You read the date on the fucking video? Like, this was a live video. It's only relevant to the people in the video where I'm talking to them. The fuck? What the fuck? What do you want from me? What the fuck you want from me? You know, you leave me a fucking shit comment. Goddamn. Goddamn. The fuck away from me. I don't want this shit. That's it. 6 beers. You took everything from me. Live feed, you took everything. This is all I have for you. I gave it to you. You got it. All right, what do you want from me? Oh man. Oh god. Oh man. I could feel this one starting to hit. Because I'm not just sipping on them, you fucks. I'm drinking them. I'm actually pouring them in a cup, and I'm like, there's beer in the cup, and I'm drinking all the liquid in the cup. I drink it right there. You're not just like sitting there. I drank 6 beers and I didn't get like. Listen, man, this is like fucking. You're pounding 6 beers. You're not just sipping 6 beers. Come on, come on, give me a break. Come on, hook me up. We need you somewhat some. Cheers, bro. Final stop on the Unicorn for the Ultimate Edge. Drinking Fort George, City of Dreams right now. Pound it, dog. Fuck yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. How many beers are you in? Yeah, we answered that one. 6 beers. You gotta make knives for the lucky few. Yeah, dude. The fuck? I've got the select right here. Pretty sweet. Almost too sweet. Man said crawling around the. Yeah, dude. You know, there was like. I think I did like a live feed in the past. Man, I was so fucked up. I could hold it together for the live feed, but afterwards I was just fucking. I was crawling, dude. I was fucked up. I was like, I'm a man's man. I got this shit on the live feed. I was like, after the live feed shut off, I was like, I'm fucking wasted, man. I'm fucking. I can't go to the bed because I can't trust myself to not throw up. I'm sleeping by the toilet. I'm crawling around. It's fucking embarrassing. But hey, I've always kept it together on the live feed. I've always been fucking solid on the live feed, man. I keep it together. The show goes on, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't chug past 2 personally. Respect. Fuck yeah, this guy gets. Thanks, man. That helps. I like that shit. They want to kill you of drunkenness, so the price of your lives go. Holy shit, that's horrible. I get it though. You have to divide by 2 because of your size. Yeah, probably actually. That's a good point. Yeah, I'm a fat motherfucker. You like 50% of the people on the internet. That's generous. It probably is actually. I probably, I don't know. Well, most people, you guys commenting here, you guys comment, you guys are actually engaging in content. Most people never actually engage in internet content. So like you don't even know anything. They're sitting there and they're watching. They never say anything and then just like they move on. So you guys are like engaging. My glass is full of wine and I'm ready. Fuck yeah, man. It's badass. We're like 20%. Yeah, dude. Kurt's up in this bitch. You make me want to blow off work so I can slam beers, bad shot. This is Kurt. When you jump in here, dude, it just reminds me how much of a drunk, stupid motherfucker I am because if the live feed goes on to the point where Kurt is able to comment on it, because Kurt is on like the Eastern time zone in America. So like by the time it's like, God, what time is it even? It's like fucking Pacific time. It's like, God, what is it? It's like 2 a.m. over here. And so by the time it's 2 a.m. here, it's like a 3 hours over like by New York and shit. Which means people are getting up and getting ready for work. This other guy said it's like 10 a.m. while he's drinking wine, so he must be in Europe. God damn, it just reminds me. You just feel like a degenerate. It's like he's staying up fucking getting wasted, dude. People are getting up for work and doing shit and getting fucking wasted. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, man. What is your favorite folder other than yours? That's actually a really good question. You know, if I'm honest, if I had to like, what is that saying they say? You'd say you have three options. You can fuck it, kill it, or marry it. The one I'd probably marry. mm, I hate to say it because there's some things I don't like about it deep down inside, but I think a PM2, isn't that fucked up? It's like so common. It's so like not obscure and oh, that's interesting. He likes this obscure thing. I think the PM2. I think the PM2 maybe is my favorite. I think if I had to marry one, it's maybe the PM2. If I had to fuck one, maybe it's the Para 3 lightweight, and if I had to kill one, it's maybe like the tie stick. I didn't make this up. This is something fucked up somebody else told me. He's like, Sean, if you had to marry something, kill something, or fuck something, I was like, that's horrible. It's horrible. Why would you tell me this? It influenced me. All right, I'm just sharing what he told me. It's not me. I'm a good person. All right. Come on, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Pinkies out, nerds. It's 6:40 p.m. over here in Australia. You know what's crazy? I didn't realize there's so many knife guys in Australia. You guys are fucking killing it, man. Jesus. Best live feed yet, Triple B. Warmed my heart. Warmed my heart and made me laugh. It needed it. Thanks, Sean. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that shit. I'm a fucking artist. I'm sensitive as fuck. I hate it. If I share something and people are shitting on me, I'm like, fuck you guys. I don't want to share shit. I'm petty like that, man. You know? Shit. I watch all your live shows with my morning coffee. That's fucking, to me, that's mind boggling because you're just watching this asshole who's already like 6 beers deep, like, oh, fuck it. Usually, like, the start of the live feed is like super awkward because it's like me and there's nobody else in this motherfucker. And I'm just like pouring a glass of beer and there's nobody, and I'm not very talkative. I'm not very like loquacious because it's like, there's nobody here. There's nobody fucking to talk to. So I'm just like, it's like fucking the beginning of a live feed is sad. So like to me, when it's like if I'm gonna delete it or not, I like watch the beginning of the video and it's like this is fucking sad. Like I'm just pouring a beer by myself. I'm like, please, man, anybody want to watch a live feed? I'm just pouring the beer and I'm drinking it. And I'm like, yeah, getting myself all pumped up. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got this. Yeah. I pour another one. Usually people start popping in by the time I'm in my like second or third beer, and I'm just like, yeah, dude. And then I don't even give a fuck if there's anybody in here or not. I'm just by the time I get to the third beer, I'm just like, yeah, man. I like knives. Oh man, it's a bird where I live. Won't shut up. It's a bird here in the house. I'm going to bed to dream about my imaginary girlfriend, you psycho. Love ya. Aw, Seth. You get the award for being the longest live feed participator. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for joining me, Seth. Thank you. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You cool guy, man. You fucking crack me up. You super into sharpening and stuff, and you just Seth, just keep being you, man. You just don't try to conform to nothing. Just be yourself, man. It's good. I like that. You're driving us to the dark side all around the world, knife nerd stone. Yeah, man. Oh shit. Oh man, that last beer. If I get too many beers, I just can't stop laughing. Oh shit. I wish you and Cedric Ado would collab on a YouTube vid. Advanced Nice 200 bros at Meadow Complex did that one that was hilarious. Bros before work. That'd be cool. I like Cedric and Ada. You know, I think that I think the problem is that you know when I make my videos and stuff, I kind of come off as like just fucking egotistical fuck. You know that just total know-it-all fucking asshole guy. Because I don't usually say stuff in the videos. I fucking hate the sound of my own voice. It just is what I sound like. You know, I think most people are like that. You like listen to your own voice. You're like, I fucking hate that sound. You know, but so usually I'll post videos. I'm not saying anything, and people watch that shit and they're like, what the fuck's this asshole? You know, what's this guy about? They have like a 1 minute video to infer who the fuck I am, and they're just like, oh, this guy, he makes cool stuff, but he's kind of a fucking dick. Because you know, I don't know, I'm just kind of shy. I just want to do the work and show it off, and then I just know that people who know will know what that is. I don't usually like to over-explain stuff because usually you're spending all your time like arguing with people and stuff about what they think they know and what you think you know, and it just fucking like drains me like spiritually and emotionally. I'm just like, oh fuck, this is like fucking draining. I don't even want to do this. So yeah, it's tough, but yeah, I'm saying all this blathering bullshit just to say that, yeah, dude, I get where Cedric and Ada, where Pete is coming from. I like that guy. I think he's fucking cool. He cracks me up. I like that he he does whatever the fuck he wants, you know. Mm. Whew. God damn, I'm feeling sloppy as fuck right now. Oh man, that last beer was definitely the last beer. That's like, holy shit. I'm feeling like on another ethereal plane of existence. I'm like, ooh, fuck. It's interesting, huh? Mm. Holy shit. Yeah, blades of liquor once a week is all we can ask for. Yeah, I mean, you know, hey, let's be real. Like, dude, like boozing is fucking bad for you, man. Like, it's not good for you. So, especially when you just get fucking. You know what's fucking sad is the fact that when you have to get just fucking blasted just to like, I don't know, speak without a filter and just speak your mind. And I think that is kind of pathetic actually that you can't just do this without it. Like just so uptight that you need to get a little more blasted to kind of just let loose. I don't know. I don't know why that is. You know, maybe it's the ego or something. I don't know, man. That's some deep shit. You're at a point right now that's totally not necessary. So there's that. Pete Zach's video was classic. You and Pete getting drunk together would be good. That would be fun, man. Yeah. It'd be fun is if we can get a live feed or something where it's not just me getting fucking blasted, but other people too. And I think that'd be a lot of fun. Just, get people kind of letting loose a little bit more. I think it'd be pretty cool. Yeah, for sure. Straight up. I've been practicing my hollow grinds. There's fingerprints all. I'm looking at it in for my eyes. It's like, oh, that looks cool, but I'm looking at it in the camera. It's like it's covered in like smears and shit. But we have some hollow grinds here. So I wanted to make a video in the future about kind of the wheel diameter between the hollow grinds. So I don't know if you can see in this video, you can't really see it very well. So these two knives are actually the same steel, same heat treatment, same hardness. These are both 65 Rockwell. Now in the video, you can't really see it too well, besides the fact these both look like shitty looking hollow grinds with like a streaky finish and stuff. But the difference between these is this one is a 16-inch wheel and this one's an 8-inch wheel, and I just thought that was really interesting. The difference, the wheel diameter of the hollow, what kind of geometry does that make that's good for cutting? And I also thought what was really interesting was how well the hollow grind works for just cutting steel, for removing steel. Just the mechanics of it, the idea that you have grit moving along a radius, and the grit poking up and being able to scoop out more. You have a hard rubber contact surface that's moving rather than just pinching the belt on the flat platen, where you have something that's not moving, the blade that's not moving, pinching a moving object, the belt. It's just not a very effective way to like grind stuff. And so the small diameter is really interesting because this video quality is not showing it. It probably showed. Hey, let me wipe it off with my fucking t-shirt. This one actually finished better. This is BD1N at 6162 Rockwell, and it you get less streaky finish on the softer chromium carbides than you do at 65 Rockwell with 8% vanadium carbide volume. It doesn't quite finish as nicely with the same belt progression, so it's frustrating, right? You're trying to get a belt finish, you're trying to get a really nice belt finish. Vanadium carbide steels are not good for that because the scratch, it's moving through tempered martensite and really hard phase particles, so it's not really giving you a consistent scratch, so you get kind of a streaky finish at the same grit progression. Because we can't, us knife maker folk, we can't afford diamond CBN belts. They're too expensive. Maybe it would work better for that, but it's not just the abrasive, but the backing of the abrasive as well. So it's kind of an interesting subject. I haven't really talked about it because there's just so many variables there. It's difficult to spend the money to figure it all out. To be honest, I'm figuring it out still as I'm doing it. So the streakier finish on the higher vanadium carbide steels with the belt finish, it fucking drives me crazy, man. I hate the way that looks. It looks like shit, But with the 8-inch hollow, what's interesting is the thinnest portion of it is like here. Okay, and it has to do with like how thin BT behind the edge you want it, and then how tall the actual knife is. So like, if you wanted to do a full 8-inch hollow, you probably, if you wanted the smallest part, you're under an inch of a grind with an 8-inch wheel. Like about here is the thinnest portion of it. So essentially what's going on with the 8-inch hollow at about this width of blade, which is about 1.2 to 1.3 inches wide, probably about 1.2 inches wide to 1 inch. Essentially what's going on is the curve towards the spine is up here, and then it curves down and bell bottoms at like a pair of bell bottom jeans they wore in the 70s. It's like getting thicker, man. It's like thicker behind the edge. Now, if I wanted to get thinner behind the edge here, I would cut through because the radius is too dramatic. So what I thought was really interesting was that it's probably not very interesting because everybody's like, well, duh, it's mathematics. Like, you could obviously listen. Okay, I get it. I'm a caveman. All right, forgive me. The 16-inch wheel that I bought, I had to fucking buy the wheel. Okay, it's not like just shit grows on trees for you to like, oh, let me just go down to the fucking knife maker store and get everything for free and figure this stuff out on my own. No, I take the money I make from making knives, which is barely enough to pay the fucking bills, and I take that and I put it into more equipment to discover things and learn things. And I got the 16-inch wheel, which I spent is like very expensive, but I got it because I was very curious. And we got the 16-inch hollow. And with the 16-inch hollow, I noticed with the more shallow radius, we can get a thinner behind the edge. I was like, whoa, that's fucking cool, So we can get the really nice abrasive efficiency quality of the hollow grind, and we could still get the thinner behind the edge features. So I was like, that's fucking cool. So right now with the hollow grinds, the goal is to like, in my mind, personally, it's like, man, how can we get these hollow grinds to maybe push some better finishes with these high vanadium steels, man? That'd be fucking cool. So that's what that's what I'm really curious about right now. I think in the future, when I get more money, that'd be really cool to push like a 20-inch hollow. I think right now that so the 20-inch is significant because you guys can correct me later, but I believe that a 20-inch radius wheel is about the maximum wheel radius you can get with a 72-inch length belt that will still go on the 20-inch wheel with the tracking and the drive wheel that pushes the belt. So 20 inch is about the limit. Maybe there's some other. Well, technically it's 21.812 inches, Sean. You fucking dumbass. I haven't done the math, but I believe a 20-inch wheel, maybe not exactly, is about the limit of wheel that you can buy to put on your grinder while trying to mitigate the drive wheel and tracking wheel sizes to try to get a 72-inch length belt. So you don't have to buy a custom sized belt, right? Because 72-inch length belt is like the standard, industry standard for belts. At least as a knife maker is concerned, everything you can find is usually a 72-inch belt. That's what you're used to buying as a knife maker. Well, Sean, technically an 81-inch belt is what the entire industry uses. Look, I don't fucking know. Look, I just know that all knife makers, all of us knife makers, we buy 72-inch length belts. So I think a 20-inch wheel, I believe, was the limit for having the same belt you're already buying for everything else. So you don't have to spend more money for different custom belts for bigger wheel radius. Okay, that's what we're trying to get at. So in the future, I thought it'd be fucking rad to get like a 20-inch radius wheel. That'd be fucking sweet, man. Right now, I mean, all I can get with my configuration is 16-inch. I got a 16-inch. We're playing with that. We're checking it out. We're gonna try to play with some finishes and stuff and see what we can get. But like I said earlier in this live feed, I think that's fucking cool, man. It's like the side of the blade is like scooped out. There's nothing to like. It's more difficult to scratch the side of the blade. It stays thinner as you sharpen up the blade. As you know, if you want the full life out of the blade, you're sharpening up the blade till it's like a sliver. So I don't know. I just thought that was cool, man. I just thought that was fucking cool. That's cool, man. It's fucking cool, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. What do you think about... What do you think about 5200? Tough and fine grain to sharpen, easy to fine edge, not a glamorous steel, but has the charms. I'm in love with tough steels, and that's why I like the LC200N. I don't know, I did that like video where I did like the 52100 at 66 Rockwell, and I did the custom heat treat, I ground it crazy thin and all that stuff. I thought it was fucking awesome. Let's be real though, the wear resistance of it, it's not going to be as high as some of these really cool like 10V steels and stuff like that. It's more prone to rust than your carbon tool steel, so like if you're not taking care of that shit, that 52100 knife, it's rusting in my shop right now. I have to go back and re-etch it. I etched my logo into it. And I started getting rust so much on the 5200, I have to re-sand it and re-etch it. That's heartbreaking. I mean, so I sell that knife for what I need to sell it at to make money because of all the time I put into it. And then I have to deal with the fact that somebody's going to get it. They're not going to take care of it because people are people. And they're going to be like, hey man, can you like redo this knife? And it's going to be like, because when something is rusting, it's actually like cratering out the blade. So if you grind it as thin as possible and they get rust and it craters out, you're sharpening up the blade to a chip because it's cratered out. So that's kind of fucked up. Like knowing, if you know all that stuff and you send that out there to the wild to people who don't know anything or think they know what they know, and then that happens to them, and then on your side of the fence, you know all that stuff. Like, what do you do? You have a certain responsibility to cater what people don't know what they don't know, or what are you supposed to do at that point? You have to charge what you charge to make money for the time you spend to make the knife, not necessarily for the materials, but the time you spend to shape those materials to get something that someone will buy. So I don't know, man. I like 5200. I think the edge stability is insane, but the edge holding is not. I mean, the edge retention will never be as good as a steel that has hard phase particles inside there that resist wear, as well as the fact that you get enough carbide volume, it's going to help increase the Rockwell hardness as well, with the same amount of carbon in solution. So it's tough. I like the 5200 a lot, but that's from that's like liking manual transmission versus automatic transmission, because you feel like with manual transmission you're more connected to it because you have to shift the gears. But at the end of the day, if you just have to use something, maybe you don't want to think about that. You just want automatic transmission. So I don't know if that connects, that analogy connects, but to me, in my mind, that's how I'm thinking about it. So I don't know, man. I think I need some fucking water. Oh, man. You educate as much as anyone else in the industry, so if someone is ignorant to the maintenance needed to take care of the product, they buy it, that's their problem. Sure, but you are if it has your stamp and name on it, you are obligated, whether they are informed or ignorant, it doesn't matter, because that reflects on you badly. If it's your name on it and then they buy it and then they use it like shit, and then they're like, hey, look at this, I bought this expensive triple B knife, piece of shit, fucking chipped out and shit, fucking piece of shit. It's like, hey man, like, don't you realize what that is? Like, that's like, 6,000 binding the edge, 5200 is gonna rust. Like, you just let that rust, and it's like it sounds like, to the person who doesn't know anything, who's like watching what you're talking, they're like, he's making up shit to make up for the fact he makes a shit knife. Because you have to think about stuff like, kind of like what the news says, where they're like, you have to speak to people like they're a sixth grade education, like a 12-year-old. And even like more intelligent people, they like to say that if you can't explain it to somebody like they're a 12-year-old, then you don't actually truly understand something. And there is some merit to that, I think. If you can't like articulate something so that a 12-year-old can understand it, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So why put yourself in a situation where you have to fight from that position of weakness? I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm just overthinking it. Of course, I'll make knives in 5200. Yeah, come on, man. I'm just overthinking shit right now. All right, this is a limit of beers, man. This is it. I'm not drinking it. That's it. Blindfolded sharpening contest. Steals like a woman. You have to know what makes her happy. Oh, hey, real talk, motherfuckers, for real, man. Listen, hear me out. And some of you guys, you probably some young guys and stuff. Look, I'm like 34 years old now. I'm an old fucking man. All right, I'm old man. And there's people that are older, they're like, you're not fucking old, you're a young man. 50-year-old people watching this live, you're a young man. Why are you saying? Look, I mean, when you're 20, 25, just under 30, 27, 29, you're on top of the world. You think you know everything. And anybody who's over 30, you're like, dude, you're fucking old man, piece of shit. It's like, I get it. I was there. But what I'm saying is, with your comment about treating a knife steel like a woman, and you gotta, if you can be with the same woman for a long period of time, that says a lot about you. I think. I think that there's some subtlety, and there's all these people in the world and doing all this shit and saying all this shit. I mean, there is something to people that can stick it out with the same person, and because people who have been in any kind of long-term relationship, you know that there is not without sacrifice to do that shit. That it's like walking a fucking herd of cats at times. Like you're both independent thinking people with your own ideas about how shit is should be done, or you know. So if you can find anybody that can stick with you that long, that means you have found a way to work with somebody and make compromises and shit. So, yeah, man, there is something to like being with a woman for a decade or longer. Like, holy shit. That takes effort, man. Especially in today's society where everything's like, oh fucking, oh chase everything, oh fucking. If this person's not right for you, you let them know. Oh shit, oh fuck, oh you know. It's like you gotta turn that shit off, man. You gotta get committed. You gotta make some compromises at times, but you know if you find somebody that's got good character that can tolerate your stupid ass, don't let that shit go. work work it out. It's worth it, man. All right, we'll wrap this shit up, man. I'm fucking smashed. I mean, I know I talked a big game. I brought out 4 beers. I'm just drinking one, but yeah, yeah. I made my fucking point here, guys. You know, this has been fun. It's good release for me. You know, I do. This is my therapy kind of thing. This live feed shit. You know, I like making some lonely shit. I don't really like that, but I do like talking to people and. Yeah, yeah. This is some fucking shit. You know, join us for Real Talk with Triple. Yeah, man. And then it takes a man to love one woman for a life. You're damn fucking straight, dude. You know, we live in a society where everything's like, oh, fucking, oh, instant gratification shit. Oh, fucking, oh, you gotta get 10 women. You gotta fuck fucking 100 women and shit. And you gotta, like, it, dude, it takes, it does take a man to fucking love one fucking woman with a goddamn passion, you know? Live passionately. Find somebody that's worth loving for the rest of your life. Otherwise, you know, fucking find the person you can do that with. And just understand that it ain't no fucking fairy tale. You're gonna get to a point where you're like, I don't know. I don't know any I don't know if this is working, but you know, when you hit that rock bottom, you know who you are and you know that like, god damn it, I'm following through on this shit and I do love this person and you know, you just find it deep in your heart. You're just like, dude, I know I love this fucking person. I'll do it. Fuck it. I'll fucking do it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't come to you. It's not like a fairy tale. It's not like, oh, I gotta keep fucking flipping bitches till I find the fucking one. No, you just. That's not how that shit works, man. What the fuck do I know? I don't know. I don't know shit. Fuck it. Yeah, man. Well, boys, this has been a fucking epic live feed. I've had a lot of fun, you know, drinking beers and stuff. It's good times, man. You know, with knife making, you don't. It's usually after you sell all your knives, you get a chance to kind of let loose and fucking feel good and drink some beers. But then afterwards, it's back to the grind. It's back to getting those knives done so you can get, you know, get paid and pay some bills and stuff and buy the supplies you need to get the next batch of knives done. And just, you know, it's nice living creatively and all that shit. So I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me on the live feed and thanks for buying the product I put out. You know, I'm sorry I can't make as much as would be nice for the demand and stuff. I just, you know, I try to work as fast as I can, but I'm limited by putting out what I feel like is the best I can. So that's tough sometimes. But kind of next week or a couple weeks drop. I can't give you guys a concrete timeline. I'm fucking sorry, you know, but I want to get this specific Mad in the Cut knife. I want to get this done. I have Oh, fucking forgive me. I'm getting fucking old, man. My body hurts. I got this Van Kron super clean knife, 68 Rockwell. I'm gonna get this. This is a nano trapper taper, ghost taper on this one, 68 Rockwell. I'm gonna get this one done. Van Kron's very expensive, very rare steel. So it will cost more than you would think for such a tiny little dinky knife, but I swear to God, you're gonna love the Van Kron. It sharpens crazy. Cost me out the ass to grind it and even just buy the raw material. It's like almost fucking impossible to get for a reason. And so uh, next week, couple week, I don't fucking know. As soon as I can, I need the I need the fucking money to buy more belts and shit. You guys got to help me out here. But we've got. Listen, I'm doing good work for you guys. You know, I've got the taper. I'm tapering the fucking tape. I'm grinding the goddamn tangs thinner than your goddamn knives that you have in your pocket. Come on, help me out here. And so I got these for you guys. Uh, these are the ones I'm gonna try to work on. Kydex sheath, Holstex, same shit, different brand kind of shit. These knives, I gotta try to get done here, make my ends meet, pay for my bills to get the next shit done. So that's what I'm working on. After this live feed, it's no drinking. It's straight to work. It's no bullshit. You know, getting back in the zone. Thing you get good at when you get in your 30s, for those of you guys watch this live feed, if you're in your 20s, is you know, you start kind of realizing life ain't no game. You know, you find what you like in life, and you're not afraid to work hard for it. So, you know, while you're not out partying all the time, then maybe that seems like a drag. You know, I guess there's kind of a reason why your parents are your parents and adults are adults, is because, yeah, you start to realize that, you know, life ain't about no party and shit. And you got to focus on something you love with the time you have before time runs out and passes you by, and you're no longer just able to do anything you wanted to do in your life. So, you know, while I spend most of my life grinding shit and geeking on shit and doing shit that, you know, you can, if you need a knife, you can go buy a knife from somebody. You don't need no knife from me, but something I like a lot. I'm happy you guys support it, and thank you. So we'll get these knives done. That's right, 2 fucking knives. Now, hear me out here, okay, guys? It's not like I don't have knives. It's not like I don't have knives. All right. I've got knives. I've got knives to work on. There's no shortage of like getting these knives. It's just to finish them, it takes passion. The finishing part is difficult. The making of the raw knife is not difficult. It's just that getting the knife where you want it to feel like deep in your fucking heart, or just like, this is the best. You know, I can personally do. It's not the best in the world. Listen, there's somebody deep in the cracks of the shadows of something that, like, secretly they have something that's better than I can do, probably, sure. But all I can guarantee you is something, my personal best with what I know. I can get that to you, you know. It's painful for me, though, to do that, because it's tough. It is fucking tough, man. But, yeah. Next couple weeks, I'm working on these. Vancron and the Mavic. This is what I'm working on. This is what I'm trying to get done. I'm not going to be budget knives. I'm sorry. I have to. It takes me time to do. So that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm going to get done. Just wanted to let you guys know where I'm at. Hollow grind knives. I'm R&Ding that. I'm checking it out. I want to work on that some because it's fun to do. I like grinding hollow. Hand sanding is not really my favorite thing to do. They're different things. Hollow grind is interesting. The flat grind with the sanding is really interesting. They're different things. They'll just always be different. I'll probably always do both. But that's where I'm at, motherfuckers. Catch me at Blade Show West. I really want to like get enough products sold so I can afford the plane ticket and the table. I would love to get a table at Blade Show West and have a bunch of knives with cool leather sheaths from Joe Fu. This shit's expensive, but I think it's really fun. I like how this carries. We'll have some of the this shape and design I thought was kind of rad. And then some of also another design that we don't see here. You'll see videos of it and shit. I'll show it off. I haven't really made that many of them, but the EDC trapper I thought it was fucking cool. So, you know, yeah. So my dream right now for 2021, my goal is if I can get to Blade Show West with a table of a bunch of knives with this sheath and cool designs with cool steels, that'd be really fucking cool. Come to Blade Show West, that'd be my dream to go there and have people come and hang out with me. And I want to, in my head, I'm thinking, you know, like I have like a cooler of beer and I'm drinking beer and I got knives on my table and I'm like, yeah, dude, come over. I'm just having a good fucking time. Like, it seems tight, man. I like that shit. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Probably not the biggest ambitions ever, but it just, for me, it's like, in my head, it's like, oh, that's fucking cool. So yeah, guys, appreciate it. Thanks for joining me for the live feed. I'm gonna wrap this shit up. I'm gonna go get some food and pass the fuck out. It's been real. Thanks for joining me. Anything said in the live feed, it just counts for the live feed. Fuck off. Like, don't be busting my balls about shit. I hate that shit. So, right on, man. Should I read the last comments here? I'm trying to. I can't stop laughing. God damn it. You can drink Australian beer. You don't love. Don't fear till you have kids. Yeah, man. We've talked about doing a stream where others are streaming too. Don't let the idea die. I think that'd be cool. Cheers, Sean. Get some sleep, brother. See you on the flip. Custom knives. Another commodity product. You're right. It takes a lot of effort keeping the relationship, but it's absolutely worth it with the right person. Fuck yeah, it is. And key note, it's worth it and with the right person. Those two things. Don't waste. Listen, boys, don't waste your jewels on fucking swine. You know, if it's like somebody don't treat you right or this and that, just get out of there, man. If you've done everything you could, don't have some fucking self-confidence. Don't waste yourself on someone who don't appreciate you, but just make sure you do everything you can. Well, I'm not here for relationship. I don't know where the fuck I'm coming from here. Look, I'm just maybe we shouldn't even go there. I love a blade without a handle. Appreciate your passion, Sean. Hopefully I can own one of your knives one day. Fuck yeah, that'd be sweet, man. All right, good talk. Stay cool. Catch you this weekend. Catch you next time. Have a great night. And we'll end it there. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining me. This was tight. I had a lot of fun. Go get some food and pass the fuck out. Stay cool, guys. Later.